Hi, I'm the Ronin Pawn, and welcome to a twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn. I brought some coffee. Ah, that's the good ganja, isn't it? Nice little water. Never mind. You probably don't know about that, because you're all pure, white, virginal children of the universe, aren't you? Hello, Ghostly Player, Condor70, Cavoodle, Ghostly Player, Condor70. Ghostly Player there is also. Why are there no names? I do not know. Hello, Hologram1. Well, time to play How Long Does It Take Until Atra's Skull Implodes from this painful pressure on the insides, says Hologram1. It's the game of life. Brought to you by Milton Bradley. How long until your skull explodes from the painful pressure on the inside? Really right up in about the point that Pawn, like, starts sipping into his coffee and making weird... Never mind. You don't know what I mean when I'm doing that. You're misinterpreting it. Hi, Pawn. Hope all is good, says Archirochi. All is well. I'm tired, but all is well. I figured out how to sleep in my bed. My mattress has been... I'm pretty sure there's a conspiracy to kill me, and it's founded by my mattress. I'm almost positive of it. This thing, it's a wonderful mattress. It's one of these, like, hybrids. It's a hybrid mattress.
Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press.
Right? His tits.
I like to go see how the professionals do it.
How does your mattress handle your tits, dude? This is the police, ladies and gentlemen, and as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, it's a hybrid mattress. It's got springs, you know, regular old school mattress, and then on top it's got the foam that nowadays they make entire mattresses out of, just a big block of, you know, body sucking in foam. That works out horribly for my posture and body and stuff. I sleep on this mattress, and I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel like it's too, you know, soft to me when I lay in it. But then I wake up in the morning, and my lower spine has decided to attempt to kill the rest of me, basically. So, yeah. A mattress. I've got a memory foam mattress topper. Love it, says Hologram1. That's basically what this is. A mattress with the built-in, like, memory foam at the top, but then springs underneath it, and it is the worst thing in my life. It was, anyway, until just yesterday after I have done so many things. I shoved a giant pillow. It's like this big under. It's just a twin mattress. It's just me, and Whitney. It's just me, so I shoved this giant, pillow underneath the mattress, at, like, the point where it would try and, like, make my spine do that or something while I was sleeping. That made it mildly better. Looney700 just subscribed! Thank you, Looney700! Where did my arms go? I want to touch you! Ah! Looney700, thank you for the subscription. Probably for this involving story about a mattress. Until I figured out last night that I could flip it upside down and just forego all of the design features of this mattress to make it nice and soft on top with the memory foam and whatnot, and just use the springs, and even use the springs on the part where they're not supposed to be, where when I lay on it, I can actually kind of feel the coils in my back. Guess what? Fucking nailed it! Beautiful! The mattress now, like, doesn't kill me in the middle of the night. Basically, I need a piece of wood to sleep on, and I have this mattress, and I don't, you know, I feel obliged to use it. Your XK's cheering 25. Hi and bye, off for a walk. We'll see you later, Rax. Thanks for the quarter. Thanks for jumping in here. It's lovely to have you around, Rax. Rax, I need to talk to you, because you're very familiar with, chemicals and things like that, and he's a science teacher, and just, he knows, he's got a garage full of stuff that if they knew he had a garage full of it, oh, no, fireworks kind of things and stuff like that. I need to figure out what will burn through, roof tiles. What will burn? I'm thinking like a kind of a napalmy kind of thing. I'm thinking gasoline and styrofoam packing peanuts, right? It would stick and it would stay and it would just keep burning. Rex, we need to talk. I need to know how to burn a house down from above. What are you talking about, Pawn? I'm talking about This Is the Police. I'm talking about This Is the Police. Because it has occurred to me that in my city of Detroit, we also have a This Is the Police issue. And that is that the police cannot do... Thermites, says Rex Skates. Cool! can I, is that something, can I buy, like, is it just, like, some stuff at the dollar store? Clorox, little, some apple cider vinegar, and then, I don't know, like, C4. Can I get C4 at the dollar store these days? How do you make thermite? Exactly. Detroit has police, is why are there no names? They do, yes, we have police here, surprisingly enough. There is a problem around drugs in the city of Detroit, and it's a problem that any city that has a real drug problem, and any large city probably has as well, and that is that you can't stop it. You cannot stop it, starting with just the pure fact that, like, it's a product and there is demand, and, what are you going to do? There's always going to be somebody to come up with a way. But you can't even significantly perturb it. You can't annoy it in this city. The drug trade, the drug traffic, because the way that it works around here, and I'm guessing in most major cities, is, well, maybe not in most major cities, maybe things are just really fucked up in Detroit, wouldn't be surprised, but the police will find out that there's a drug house somewhere, they'll go in, they'll toss the house, they'll find drugs, they'll arrest people, pull them out, and I'm not kidding you, an hour later, sometimes as little as an hour later, people are still going to that house for drugs. Because the person who they buy is just, it's just the house guy. It's just, some dude who's probably not even really getting paid. He gets to take, he gets a little bit of money, but mainly he's paid in product kind of thing. The people who run the industry just put people there in the house in order to sell the drugs. So the moment that it gets flipped, somebody gives him a call and say, hey, the house just got tossed by the cops. He goes, okay, hang on. Hey, Dave, I got an opportunity for you. Yeah, the house over there just opened up. And, like, within an hour, they've put someone else into that house that was just tossed by the police. The police just made an arrest, just tossed it. And, when they come out to a drug house like this, they come with the SWAT. So it's not something that they're going to do, like, 2-3 times a day at the same building. So it's like, nothing actually gets done. Like, you can't even significantly perturb and disturb the drug traffic on the streets of Detroit. So I'm figuring out my own way to do that. And it involves thermite, apparently. Ice cream thermite is really easy to make, actually, says Hologram 1. Cool! Rex, send me over a document. That was Hologram 1 saying that. Hologram 1, don't get involved, okay? That's an international now. If you start telling me how to make thermite, we've got the CIA involved. If Rex tells me it's the FBI, and as long as Trump's in office, he won't let the FBI do their jobs. So I'm fine. Thermite is aluminium. You just said aluminum, Bearsuit Lane, but I'm going to say aluminium and iron oxide, just ground up metal powder. Boom! Got it! I got some iron I could scrape off, and I know, aluminum foil. Can we do that? Whoop whoop! That's the sound of the police, says Wesley Bitencourt. Cheer 5, I have about 3 ways to make it with what I have available, says Rex. Alright, well, don't send it or anything, but don't mail it through, I'm not sure. Cheer 5, fun fact, says Noah Craw. Mythbusters once found an explosive so dangerous and easy to make that they destroyed the tapes, informed intelligence agencies, and not only swore not to talk about it, but also made everyone involved sign a lifetime NDA. Wow. Really? Explosives aren't that hard to do. Pressurize an explosive. You know what I was actually thinking about this. I was actually, because, like, what the city of Detroit needs now is not love, sweet love. The city of Detroit needs vigilante justice, sweet vigilante justice. And I was thinking about, how would you do this? I was thinking, I've got a camera drone that I've never broken out of the box. You set the camera drone up, and, it's a pretty powerful drone I've got, too. And then you just, like, glue on, or, you tack on, like, a little hook where something hangs from it, and then you put a thing on the camera so that when it turns a certain direction, it will, take the string that's carrying the payload up and off, and then it'll drop. Very easy to do. Mechanical solution doesn't need any crazy robotics. Just using what's there. Then, you got a payload. What's in the payload? All you really need is something that, combusts in a pressurized container if you want to bomb. My problem was, I need something that burns. So I want to burn these buildings down, and you might be looking at me going, Jesus, Paul, what are you saying on Twitch right now? I am saying what the city of Detroit's police department will tell you if you call them on a drug call several times and they come out to the house and they can't do anything about it because you're just saying, they're selling drugs over there. I know it. I see the traffic. And they're like, you don't have any proof. We need a warrant, all that kind of stuff. And they know they can't do anything about it. I know people who have been told by the city of Detroit, by the police, okay, not officially, but quietly as they're getting ready to go, you know, and the guy's saying, you guys aren't doing anything? I just have to live with this drug house? And they say, listen, you want to get rid of it, burn the fucker down. And then they turn and they walk away. Because that is actually what the city of Detroit police do when they have a real problem with these drug houses. Again, unofficially, off the books, nobody fills out the paperwork, but they can do nothing but burn down the houses, because if they flip them, you know, if they row them, if they go in and take them over, and they're just going to reopen in an hour or two. So if they really want to take a place down, they burn it to the fucking ground. And then at least there's a few days where the operation has to be, you know, moved and you know, they got to find a new place and set up in it and that sort of thing. It still doesn't solve anything, but that is the recommendation. If you want your neighborhood cleaned up, the quiet, under-the-table recommendation is burn the fucker down. And I'm thinking, you know, the police are on board for it. We need a little vigilante justice around this city. Huh? Just a little, somebody running through the night, maybe with a camera drone, little hook on it, just and then the problem is the igniter, and I've got an idea for that, but hold on. I'm scrolling through chat. Thermite is literally on WikiHow, says Hologram 1. Okay, you're not allowed to become Batman, says Hologram. Oh, damn it. Can make Thermite with what's in an Etch-a-Sketch, says Bearsuit Lane. Cool. City of Detroit needs Batman. Detroit needs Batman. Pawn has become Batman. Not the rodent pawn this city deserves, but the rodent pawn this city needs. The stream has started, points are now online, says Nova. Yay! Some heroes don't wear capes, some just use bombs. Pawn, no, you're not allowed to become the Mad Bomber. I don't want to do bombs, I want to burn them. You know, I need to know how to burn them. We need something that will just burn and burn and burn and will burn right through, roof tiling. That's the thing. That's the big trick right there. You know, either that or you gotta, like, get used to, like, flying the drone and having, like, 15 miles per hour of forward momentum and then release at just the right time. And, you know, you gotta actually be a bomber. If I get something that burns right through the... right through the roofing, then I can just hover over the top and... there you go. Fix the city. It'll just move it around. It'll just move, you know, just cause them to, like, jump from place to place, but... I mean, it ain't hard to figure out where the drug houses are. You could do a grocer's dozen in, do a baker's dozen in a night if you had the resources. Welcome to This Is the Police, where our troubles are, slightly less in the city of Detroit. Former Mafia member bemoans City Hall corruption. Seriously? Chief physician at St. John Hospital accused of slander. I don't know. Mayor decline services of spokesman. I speak for myself. One Love, the fact, telling us all the facts about how the mayor is a good guy and things are getting better in the city all the time. Don't mind that gang war on the streets that I may or may not be slightly involved in as the chief of police trying to play both sides. No wonder the fire department budget is so big in Detroit, says Bearsuit Lane. Yeah, it's basically the only way that they solve the issues here in Detroit, and they're good too. City of Detroit Police Department, or I mean, fire department is good. They get there and they put them out. I mean, they've had enough practice. They have good response times. The police don't. They actually, you know, solve the drug problems, and the police don't. What are you gonna do? Today, my daughter is opening an art exhibit at an elite gallery in a nearby city. Can I have the day off? You know what's just occurred to me? I've just realized that yes means yes, you can have the day off. No means no, you can't have the day off and come in. Yes, but come in tomorrow means you have to pull the opposite shift. That never connected with me. Yes, but come in tomorrow means, you know, if you're on shift A, well, you're going to have to come in on shift B, and presumably then you'll have to come in on shift A again, and then, you know, that sort of thing. So I get it. I think Armstrong is like the head of a case that I've got open right now. And I really can't... It's your daughter. Life is important, you know? Troubles of this city. They're gonna be here tomorrow. The next day. The next day. Not if this, if I manage this gameplay wrong and then the game ends on me because I got killed by the Mafia. Then there won't be problems with this city. But Armstrong, come in tomorrow, but you can have the day off. I'm too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? Percy, yes, go home, stay home, never come back. We got 3 new cop slots from somebody who gave us, we could have 3 more officers on the roll, from someone who required us to take their, like, cousins, nephews, something on the force. That's Percy. And that means we only got 2 cop slots. But it was useful, and I'm thankful for it, especially since the city has been taking away my, my officers for quite some time. It's a day for Shift B. We're gonna find out where we stand, because I don't remember where we left off. I've got a vague sense of it. Pawn, it's very simple. You have CFS. You are not qualified for being a vigilante, says Hologram 1. That's why, ooh, share of some cocaine sales that I gave to the Mafia. $5,391. Share half of it with my staff? Oh, wow, they keep making this dirtier. So I may have... I just wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to see how much a bag of coke was worth on the streets. We turned in a lot of, you know, coke and guns to the evidence locker, but one of them came in and I said, why don't you guys sell this on the street? So the mob sold some coke on the streets for me, and they're giving me $5,391 from it. And now I've got the option to either split my takings with the people who, you know, risked their jobs in order to, you know, quietly move the coke to a place, or just to take it all for me. I guess I should share it, although that does... You know, that's actually better, right? I share it, and then everybody's in, you know? Now you're as dirty as I am, right?
Yes. Whitney?
Hang on, people. And welcome back. This is going to be a thing now, isn't it? Uptime works now, though, so that's a thing, says Noah Crowd. Now you know how long I haven't been live streaming. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure his dad came to the door and said he's got a call from Brittany and Paul went, no, she's here. She's here. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. She had troubles on getting into the... And let's carry on. We're gonna get it taken care of. So yeah, I sold some, well, the mob sold some coke for me on the streets, and I guess I gotta split it with people, you know, and then they're as dirty as I am, and then they won't talk. There we go, but I did make a little bit of money off of the thing. Wait a second, hire female cops. Jack, you swore an oath to serve the city. If you can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. I tried really hard to get a 50-50 male-female distribution amongst my police precinct. I was so close, too, but I couldn't make it happen. There weren't enough people to fire. And I didn't want to fire, like, legitimately decent officers in order to make space for a, you know, forced gender equality policy, which is just ridiculous, because the City Hall started out saying, you need to get these women protesters off this, get them and take the SWAT out there. They want equality, shut them up. And I said, no. And now they said, hey, Jack, why don't you hire half your staff as women? And I said, I can't. And they said, they're just coming up with reasons to whip me, is the thing. I have missed a couple, says Noah Craig. You did not watch the stream? Yes. The show must go on, but not today. And the Zensday one, says Hologram 1. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we've got our first... Oh, good. Let's start out on an upbeat note. A rape at Jim Baton Bakery. Two homeless men made their way into a local bakery under cover of darkness, where they ate their fill and bedded down for the night. In the morning, the bakery owner, Gregory Martinez, along with cashier Anna Lucas, went inside and discovered the damage. The homeless men, armed with knives, were unhappy to be disturbed and attacked the victims. The shopkeeper managed to escape, but the cashier remained inside with the homeless men, who were seen tearing off her clothes. Okay. That sounds like a good day, and that's okay. So, Kochi, definitely want some female officers on this thing. Kochi and Hunter, and then also some male officers to intimidate the, you know, rapist scumbag fucks. So, yeah, 4 out of... They're homeless guys, they got knives. You know, they're hopped up on the PCP. This is what they always used to say. Whenever something bad went on, it was always, they're hopped up on the PCP. Yeah, that's a lot of my officers to send out right at the beginning of the day. Don't call for backup, people. It's 2 homeless guys with a knife. Alright? Shoot them in the head. Nobody will... I mean, the 2 homeless rapists with a knife. Shoot them in the head. Nobody's gonna mind. Not a single person is gonna mind. Does Ronan Pawn have a female in his life? Shh. 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 The Sands need help. After the incident with the horses, we secretly transferred Mr. Sands' guest to a local hotel and set up a guard outside his door. This is the Mafia. Okay? I am playing a subtle game with 2 warring gangs. 2 warring mob operations, basically. I'm trying to keep them both thinking that I'm with them, without letting either one of them get significantly ahead in the gang war, and then at the end of the gang war, I gotta push one of them ahead all of a sudden in order to make sure that they come out on top. Because I did choose which side I want to be on, but I've got to keep them thinking that I'm with them. Sands is not the one that I'm with. Suddenly we're hearing screams coming from his room, and there's water flowing from the bathroom. We'll break down the door, but a police presence wouldn't hurt. Okay? Purdy, go say hello. Purdy is the old lady who manages the Mafia for me. I need to look into my investigations. I'm pretty sure I've got multiples open. And yeah, the guy who took the day off is leading the investigation on this art theft. So that sucks. Detectives. Can I add anyone to it? Is there anyone who's actually on this shift that I could add to it? Beasley's already on the job. Mole and Johnson are sitting around doing absolutely nothing. Huh. Can I change the... You can't change the lead after you've started, can you? Nope. What's the other one? Show me the other one so that I can try and figure out what's going on here. I've just got Moser on that investigation alone. Johnson's brand new. Johnson, get in there and help. Johnson, get in there and... Alright. Mole, get in there and be... Yeah, okay. So Mole, Moser, and Johnson are going to be working on that investigation whilst I take up all of my... Come on, if we can close one of them today, then we get a whole staff of detectives back. You know, I don't like having 2 investigations open for this long. Okay. Yeah, it's an in-depth game if you're just joining us now, and it's really friggin' good. Alright, we caught the homeless rapist scumbag fucks. Did they accidentally fall down the stairwell on the way in to the precinct? Because if they didn't, somebody's not doing their job. They accidentally fell down the stairway and then down an elevator shaft and then tripped and smashed their head on the corner of a desk and, well, less paperwork because they're dead. Sorry. How could I have? You know, what could I have done? We've got a fight at the Blitz Cafe. 2 truckers fell to blows over a parking space in the lot near the diner. The cook tried to separate them, but was struck by a wild punch and is now lying on the ground, motionless. Okay, just a little, you know, a couple of rough and tumble country boys that are something and the other. Send Roy and Yancey out there, two of you, you know, it's just a fight. You break it up. People see the cops are there, and then they go, okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to hit this guy in the head. What's this? We've got a theft at St. John's Hospital. I just assigned all my friggin' detectives away. Oh, all the painkillers at the hospital pharmacy disappeared shortly after the building lost electricity. The pharmacy door shows no sign of forced entry. An inside job, is what they'd say. Who is available, or would have been available? Beasley and Mole. I just assigned Mole to another case. I wonder if I could take her back off now. Mole, detectives, get off that case, Mole. Yeah. So Mole is not helping there, but Johnson is now helping. She's actually a detriment at 110. She's probably going to make our investigation worse there. But that makes a detective available to be the lead on that. Mole can get started on the theft at St. John's Hospital while we manage the Vargases, which is the other mafia syndicate that I have chosen to side with, technically. Ronan Pawn, eager to ask you the question, what will happen if you trained yourself to try and memorize your thoughts so you eventually can trace back your thought path? Has it ever been tried as far as you know, says Dendy? I don't know. My memory has never been good. I can't tell you what year, what month. I can't tell you things like around time. Absolutely horrible. My life has been, and along with my Zen practice, very much, you know, like here and now, and not about trying to be able to trace everything back or anything like that. And for a number of reasons, I would recommend that as a way of living. You know, your mind knows a lot more. Don't make it a Zen's Day point. Your mind knows a lot more than you think you know. Okay? Everything that you've seen, everything you've heard, everything you've smelled, everything you touched, everything you tasted, all those experiences caught by your mind. Absolutely. No problem. And then that little portion of your mind where your consciousness rests, is piece of crap, that thing. Just a 286 CPU. But it's all there. So when I talk about like trusting your gut and living in the moment and that kind of stuff, it's like trusting the part of your mind that actually, you know, sees. That doesn't narrow things down and put them in boxes. You know way more than you think you know because of that 286 processor. Alright, Vargas. We were putting on a small concert in the park, but during the break, someone noticed that there was a bomb under the stage. Everybody's afraid to move in case they set off the bomb. Please, send someone to help. Yeah, obviously. Purdy's not the girl for this, though. Asano? Millsap, even. Asano, very trustworthy officer. Think she might have worked with the Vargases before, I don't know. We're just trying to keep them even. We helped Sands today. We helped Vargas today. That's a 1-1 as we're sitting here right now. We're even there on how many we helped. Bomb under the stage? What is this, a Clockwork Orange? Was that part of a Clockwork Orange? I just remember the... I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a... Jack, my entire staff at the donut shop came down with the flu, and I haven't been able to find anyone else to help out. Are you effing kidding me? You want me to send officers to what, make donuts? Could you please send me a couple of your men? I'm sure they wouldn't mind frying up some donuts. It's easy. I'll show them everything they need to know. My shop barely makes ends meet, so I can't afford even one day of downtime. Are you... We are the police, Amy Marbun and Donatello. I mean, it's kind of a community service thing, you know, like there's a small business and she doesn't have anybody to work for them, and, you know, she's kind of in Jack's league in terms of potential, like, dating scenarios. If he helped her out, maybe he could get a drink at a bar, you know, that kind of thing. You know, that's, I mean, look, she's his type. It's donuts. Cops are familiar. Protect the city? Nah, we got donuts to fry, says Hologram 1. I'm tempted to actually do this. I need God Bomber around Smith is so clean-cut, I'd send him and I'd send Millsap if I were sending people to go make donuts for the day. She's gonna give me money, too, I'm pretty sure, for having done this for her. But... yeah, they're gonna come back, like, fat and... you know, we ate all the donuts, and some kind of cop joke is coming, I'm sure. We've got our investigation has started on the theft at the hospital. I'm just gonna let it go for now, and then when we get some information in, we'll have a closer look at it. Let's have a closer look now. Mrs. Rodriguez says, I went for lunch at 1, and a couple of minutes later the lights went out. I shut the door behind me. I remember that I bumped into the janitor's cart that was standing in the hallway. Possibly the means of transiting all of those prescription medications from the drug cupboard. Mr. Marcus, the head physician, says, I suspect the student Aaron Jones. He's come by the hospital several times in a state of confusion, with red, searching eyes, dragging his huge backpack behind him. But it never occurred to me that he might be an addict. It never occurred with the red, searching eyes and the... I don't know. I was in the bathroom, says Aaron Jones, the fella in question, when the lights went out. The only thing I saw is what you normally see while you're sitting on the toilet. Oh, and then a janitor came to the restroom with his cart. I heard him emptying the bin, then the lights came on, and I went to the head physician's office for a signature, but he wasn't there. Huh. Head physician's not there, the janitor's cart was outside, and then the janitor's cart... during a blackout, the janitor decides to keep emptying the bins. I mean, what else would he be doing, really? You know, still got a job to do. You can't empty the bins in the darkness. It's the kind of thing you'd see me doing when I was a janitor, which I was for several years. But, you know, it's interesting. Is it possible that he looted the cupboards, and then put the drugs into the trash? Such, and then they've just been moved. They're still in the building. And then later, when he throws the trash out, that's where you find the drugs. Mr. Bodnar. Yes, I have keys. The janitor in question. Yes, I have keys to the pharmacy. I wash the floors there, just like everywhere else. But I don't have access to the electrical panel. Only my superiors have those keys. And here's another mystery. What happened to my garbage bags? Someone took them out of my truck, and I can't find them anywhere. Well, I'll tell you, having been a janitor, that's just, you know, every other day. You know, somebody who works there is like, God, we're always out of trash bags, and then they take an entire fucking roll of trash bags. And the problem is, like, it's no skin off my back, I'm not buying the damn trash bags, but, you know, the people who do buy the trash bags are, like, you gotta ask for them, you gotta tell them that you're completely out a month and a half in advance, just so that you can have them by the time you're completely out. Absolutely horrible. Just, what are we talking about? Now there's a janitor thing, I'm all attached here. So, he couldn't have, or at least he's claiming, he couldn't have turned the electricity off, which we are assuming was part of the theft, right? Meanwhile, they've sort of thrown some shade at Mr. Marcus, his supervisor, who could have done that. Is it a conspiracy between the janitor and Mr. Marcus? Is it Mr. Marcus alone, pretending to be the janitor? What does the surveillance camera have to say? Was it you, surveillance camera? Did you do it? A surveillance camera was seen pushing a janitor's cart. The last frame before the film comes out shows the janitor going down the corridor, his cart standing near the door to the pharmacy. Time code 1303. 103. The janitor triggered it? The genitals? Jendi? The janitor triggered it. What? I'm having a rare deja vu at the moment. Send in the God Bomber for the donuts. Alright, so now we've got the information about this. My detectives are going to have to do some detectiving and try and come up with a scenario. I've got a couple of different scenarios in my head, but I kind of just need more information. What happened with the donut shop? I'm telling you, Chief, standing over that fryer's hellish work. I'd rather dodge bullets than the spray from the boiling oil. But at least Mrs. Marban promises she'll keep us in donuts through the rest of the year. Yeah! Now that we've got donuts, it's, you know... Morale booster for the whole department, and it didn't even take that long. They were only gone like an hour or two. Did you make all the donuts in an hour or two? Jesus, they're good at making donuts, aren't they? The Sands want my help. We need backup. Some punks tried to crash one of our poker games, and we aren't about to let them walk with the money. So now we've got ourselves a standoff. A couple officers on the scene would change the situation in our favor. Yeah, but no. Sorry, I'm not sending my, my soldiers out, my police officers, To stand in the line of fire when the line of fire is merely, you know, gangsters shooting at each other. Sometimes I will, but not today. The Last Picture Show Theater, an act of public indecency has occurred during a special viewing of the thriller, Law-Abiding Max 3. A theater employee discovered one of members of the audience. A theater employee discovered one of members of the audience had removed his pants. The man noticed the employee was watching him and responded with the threat that he would cut the throats of everyone in the theater. Why? So you were just watching him? You're just like, hey, that guy's got his pants off, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Yeah, I'd cut your throat. No. Okay, so public indecency and somebody making a threat, and is this gonna be Pee Wee Herman? I'm sorry, Pee Wee. I'm sorry. Let's send Roy and the God Bomber. Send in the God Bomber and Millsap. Get yourself some like actual experience other than dipping donuts. There you go. We're leaving the Sands to deal with their own war today on that head. Are any of my investigations going to like move along? Any of them going to develop, like, give me some more pictures. We were supposed to keep an eye on this house where Mr. Varga keeps some important documents. We were here just 5 minutes, and already the house is on fire. At least help us get those papers out of the house before the whole thing goes up. Huh? Okay. Send my officers into a raging fire to help the Vargases get paperwork out. I mean, it's I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence because it's like not a illegal activity that they want me to help with. It's saving some papers, but it's also kind of I've already helped 1-1 today. It would not hurt me to, you know, keep the Vargases. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Neither of you get the last half of the day from me, okay? Deal with your thing. Janitors are weird people, says Why Are There No Names? Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Okay. Public indecency. Look at the picture. Here, let me give you a proctology exam. The movie theater isn't too crowded and the film is in full swing. So do we carefully approach the man? Do we turn on the lights and take aim at the offender or throw a heavy object at the offender? I think we could possibly, like, keep this copacetic, just walking up to him. Yeah. Yeah. You know, he's probably pretty self-satisfied at that point, not a lot of energy. Probably wants a sandwich. So, I think we can... We've got vandalism in the suburbs. A man who wished to remain anonymous reported that a group of teenagers once again made fun of his name by writing insulting rhymes on his 6-foot-wide garage. Mary had a little lamb, something. The man is enraged and threatened the next time he'll use a weapon to defend his honor. Well, I mean, I don't know, it's the suburbs. Crazy people. Wish to remain anonymous. Once again made fun of his name, insulting rhymes. How are we going to do anything about this? If you're anonymous, and it's on your garage, we clearly don't know where it is. We're just going to drive around in an area and look for the garage that says, you know, Tricky Dick on it or something like, I guess. Smith, Babyface Smith, and, I don't know, Yancey. I think you're just going to lose points here. I don't think you're actually going to be able to do anything about this, but head on out and see what comes back. So how you guys doing? It's tough being the police, isn't it? I mean, it's really hard to figure out how you're gonna deploy the thermite to the roofs of the... So, our 2 theft reports? Oh, thank God, we've got some pictures from the detectives. Okay, so, we've got a number of different options as to how this might have gone down. This is the hospital theft case. We're gonna need more pictures than that, but so far what we've got is we start with a sequence of the nurse, Mrs. Rodriguez, closing down, or pharmacist? I don't know. Mrs. Rodriguez closing down the pharmacy, going to lunch, and then she comes back and it's all empty. Now, We've got a somebody trying to pry open the pharmacy door, which we know didn't happen. We'll just put you down there. Because, yeah, they had the keys and there was no signs of forced entry was the first thing that was set. We got somebody kicking the door open, which we also know didn't happen because signs of forced entry. We have, these seem to be of the boy, I would guess, the fellow with the red darting eyes and the backpack and whatnot. So this is him sitting down, looking at a piece of paper. I don't know how that plays in. I'm going to put that on the timeline. I don't know that that helps any for me to put that on the timeline, but neither of these happened, and I don't know what the F that is. The game is a little bit about these, but honestly it kind of has to be, because otherwise there's not much puzzle to them once you get all the pictures in, you know? Pawn, if you need someone for cool crime-fighting gear, I know a guy, says Why Are There No Names. Why don't you just advertise your services, Why Are There No Names? I know a guy. That means I can do it. I know what it is. How much money do you want? Pawn also knows a guy. Rex is basically Lucius Fox. Maybe. What about this theft report? 3 new frames. Okay, this might be one that we can close now. Probably not, though. Alright, this was a theft of a museum, and, thanks to a certain someone in chat, kind of know how this worked out. It's a trap. They tried to pin it on this kid who works for and he hates this artist, and it turns out, though, that it's going to be the night watchman. Sort of like it turned out it was going to be the janitor. Oh, they're just copy-pasting the scenarios. So, I don't remember any of this. This is Mr. Campos, the fellow who's probably the museum guard who's probably the culprit here. I walk the museum every hour, alarm is off, City Hall won't allocate money. I didn't hear glass breaking, it's a big museum. When I came back, it was early morning, and the canvas was cut from the frame, there's no trace of anyone around, just a brick lying on the floor, on the inside. However, I do remember the museum window says that the glass was on the pavement outside the museum. Shards of glass outside. So brick on the inside, shards of glass on the outside. The brick was not used to break the window. The brick was left there to suggest that the window, and that, you see, you had to break it out. Somebody went out the window, or just broke the window from the inside. These are little hints that something is going on here, not quite, you know, copacetic. We have a picture of the night watchman cutting the majigger from the thing in the whatsits. He's cutting the painting down there. He brought the brick with him. Yeah, so finding the order is going to be the only thing, really. So I'm going to say that he took the brick out, left the brick there, he cuts the painting, rolls it up, puts it in the bag, and then walks out with the bag, maybe. We know that this kid came through. I don't know what this is showing. This is showing the night watchman sliding the... Maybe he's using that to break the window out. That makes a fair bit of sense. But that would mean in this picture, because this picture the window's already broken. So this would have to come before that. So it's just a matter of, like, finding the order in which these sorts of things happened, I suppose. Maybe like so and like so. I presume this is him taking the brick out of the bag that he has. That would have to happen then there. Like this? Aha! Got it! Got it. So he walks in with the bag's got the brick in it. He breaks the window out for show, he takes the brick out, leaves it on the ground, and then he takes the thing, rolls it up, and ha 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 ha. Yes, we found Rafael Campos, museum security guard, who thought he'd earned some money for his old age from the new painting that had everyone talking. We've caught him, now we just have to go and catch him. And we have 2 different places we can try to catch him at. One is his small apartment. We could go and look for him there. Or storage buildings. A storage space has been rented in the name of Rafael Campos. This might be where he's keeping the stolen painting. Well, we want to grab him before Yeah, we want to grab him, like, trying to get a warrant for, let's pick up, you know, let's search his area, and then he would run. We want to grab him and then get the painting. Because if we've got him, then it's just a matter of time before we get the painting. But if we get the painting first, then maybe we just get the painting back, and the guy gets away, because he goes, oh, crap, they got the painting. So we're going to try and pick him up at his apartment first thing. I need strong officers on this. I mean, he's an old night watchman. Shouldn't be a big deal. Haven't used the SWAT at all today. What the hell? Send him along, and send Millsap out there to get some more experience. Let's bring her up. Without the lead detective, there's a lower chance of success. Are you sure you want to send the cops in alone? Oh, right, Armstrong's out for the day. I still feel confident that we can grab him. I'm gonna say yes. Do it. Go in there. Without the lead detective, you know? I don't see what the issue would be with grabbing him. What happened with our vandalism report? We managed to catch the kids, apparently. I don't know how, but we did. Let's see what happens. Don't get me wrong, Q is pushed in his role. Oh, God. I love that, actually. I love that Star Trek keeps coming up in chat. Be careful what you say. Don't get me wrong, Q is pushed in his role, same as you and I were, but you and I both know that kicking against it doesn't solve anything. How do we do in picking this guy up, even though the lead wasn't there? It was the wrong place. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, end the day. Tomorrow, we've got the lead detective on. I kept him even. I kept him even. These are the two gangs that are warring with each other, and I managed to keep him even in the race. Vargas does need to win. 2 more of these days, I think. I'm kind of not sure if I understand how this works. I need to stack up Vargas's wins. He needs to be in the lead, but he can't be in the lead 3 days in a row, or else I get killed. Because I'm pretty sure how this works. Yeah. How we doing on the next shift? Looks great. Looks great, looks strong. Kubota could use a day off, I suppose. But we're doing good. Q is a Star Trek thing? Says, why are there no names? Is that what you're talking about? Q? You know, the Q continuum? What do you... Oh god, you idiots have confused Star Trek and James Bond. Oh, Q! I don't know, I just look over and I see Q, and I know that, like, I'll be sitting here talking about God knows what, and you'll all be conversing about Star Trek. Be like sharing the secrets of Zen meditation to you, and I'll look over and I'll be like, don't you love Quark from Deep Space Nine? Robespierre, I'm pretty wealthy, but deeply unhappy. He was gonna run for mayor, wasn't he? And you got an interview with him? And he's telling you that he's deeply unhappy and he wants to run for mayor? Mayor calls prosecutor's office to check Robespierre's statements for extremism. His statements about being wealthy but unhappy? He's an extremist. He's a terrorist. Kill him. Maybe because he wanted to run for your job, Mayor? University of Freiburg tuition costs to decrease. Also, no black people there anymore. From the mayor, what he wants to happen in the city. Who the fuck doesn't love Quark? Says a guy called, oh, I've started it anyway. Guess who's back? Who couldn't make it on time due to me having a social life tonight for a change. Congratulations, a guy called Pie. Excellent. I'm English. I hate the Bond films. This is Hologram 1. Do you? The modern or the old ones? Or all of them?
What? Hey, Q? Yes. This pen will explode if you simply insert it into the target's anus. It will detect the heat and then they'll be pregnant with butt babies. It's genius, Paul. Bond, I mean.
I drank too much. I don't think I can hold it together today. Can I go home, says McCoy? Okay, McCoy is an alcoholic, we just found out. We got beer next to her. I mean, actually, the day that I hired McCoy, she didn't come in. The day that I hired her, she didn't come in. So, yeah, but come in tomorrow. Don't go on another bender, hon. I don't want a cop who's, you know... I don't know how to deal with that situation, actually. Wow, this game just does keep going and introducing more and more mechanics, doesn't it? Armstrong is pulling a shift here today because he took the day off yesterday to see his daughter's something and the other. Kubota could use a day off as well. I'm joking. No one could ever hate you, Hologram. Who hates? And now I hate you, says why are there no names? Not all of them, of course. That's impossible. Is it an impossible mission for James Bond? Is it a mission... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright. Are you kidding me? A Japanese businessman who must remain nameless, City Hall, will soon arrive in Freeburg. The city hopes to sign a major contract with him. As our guest, he will examine many of our institutions, including the police station. His visit is scheduled on August 5th. Please take care to ensure that at least 3 Asian officers are working on that day. We want to show the hoity Japanese businessman that there are rice cakes in our... I don't know, I didn't know where to go. I'm trying to find, like, what's Japanese racism. That we've got many nips. Okay, August 5th. What day is it today? It's August 2nd. I've got 3 days to have 3 Asian officers all assigned to the proper shift. So, today is shift A. Tomorrow's B, that's the 3rd. The next day is 4th, and then B would be the 5th. So shift B, they want to have 3 Asian officers on shift B for August 5th. I can do that. Stupid. But I can do that. I've got Kubota. I think I can do that. I don't know how many Asian officers. I haven't paid attention to their races when I've been hiring them. Okay, and salary request from City Hall. No, they just gave me my money. It's okay. There we go. We made some money. Just hang on there. I'm going into the police station. Do I even have 3 Asian officers? Kochi looks Asian. Asano, right? So Asano, Kochi, and then we've got Kubota. Oh, Tsubaki as well. I've got a lot of Asian officers, actually. Disproportionate of the population of this city, I'm sure. Tsubaki, Kubota, I'm not sure about Kochi. I mean, yeah, I guess. Asano seems, but yeah, I just put all of them on. They have to be on shift B by the end of it. So I just need 1 extra person over here who's Asian. Tsubaki looks like she could manage it. Move to shift B, Tsubaki. Are we in agreement? Tsubaki, Kochi, and Asano are all Asian? That should work out, right? Unless one of them decide not to come in, get drunk with McCoy, and go out for the night. That should work out. If I remember to, the day before, I want Kubota to get some sleep, because he's very tired right now. If I switch him to shift B right now, it would be a bad thing. In fact, maybe I should wait on Tsubaki as well. Because if I move her to shift B, she'll be down to 3 bars, and then she'll have a day off, and then she'll come back. That should work out. Yeah, but Kubota, I'll move him over too, just to make sure that I've got as many Asian officers on that shift as possible, in case one of them doesn't come in. If I can remember. As of now, I've at least covered the basics of the bases. But we've got a bomb threat at St. John's Cathedral. An irate lumberjack by the name of Grisham Frank claims that he planted a job in the cathedral, a bomb job in the cathedral. It's different than a hand job. It's much better. He says he'll blow up the building with everyone inside unless the police arrest the priest. Apparently, the priest convinced his recently deceased wife to refuse treatment at the hospital and ask for God's help instead. Oh, wow. Okay. Grisham Frank. Frank Grisham. Frank the Punisher Grisham. Grisham is not the last name of but it's close, isn't it? What's the actual name of the Punisher from the comic books and the now television series, which was surprisingly quite good. So he's claims to have planted a bomb in the cathedral, because the priest, told his wife to refuse treatment and ask for God's help instead, and maybe she's not with us anymore, or maybe their child is not with us anymore, or it could be anything. They've left it open for you to imagine. So, the Punisher here, has got a point. I mean, he's not... It's a bomb threat. It's pretty important. They won't let me send the SWAT out for some reason. Let's have Powers, Samadhi. If I can't send the SWAT, I'll have Gilbert. And I'll have, Kubota, you need to stay... The Asian people need to stay alive. Send out Underwood. So, 2 of our strongest officers, followed by 2 of our weakest officers who are still okay, pretty good. There. Out to a bomb threat. Probably, you know, he doesn't have a bomb. Maybe he does. I don't know. We just talked about how easy it is to make them. We need to arrest Rafael Campos. Armstrong is on shift today. We went to the wrong place yesterday. Let's send out Robbins and... Oh, I'm actually afraid to send out my Asian officers. It's important that they survive, isn't it? But Tsubaki and Robbins have worked well together. A SWAT team for picking up one, you know, museum guard guy? No. No. How about no? Not sending Austin with powers? We're doomed. Oh, good, the Vargases need help. I need to make sure that the Vargases are winning the day at the end of the day. Someone sent a blood-soaked box to our leader's home. Most likely it contains a head or some other body part. We don't want to open the box until there's a policeman present. That is fair enough, actually. Quite fair enough. Kubota, get out there and, you know, see the severed head. It's in the box. What's in the box? I'm sure he can handle it. He's Asian. Makes him more powerful. The 90s is when they started to go bad. What, action movies? Not saying the 90s ones were necessarily bad themselves. We got a lot of incredible action movies out of the 90s. Although, you know, a lot of bad ones, too. In the new movie, Scientologist Thom will do an action that no one ever did in the movies, ever. What? But blockbusters become a thing during the 90s, and that's all you really need to know. So the guy goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's talk about Star Trek. Q was an excellent character. Bomb threat at the cathedral. It's full of visitors. Find the priest and begin an evacuation. Announce the bomb threat and order everyone to evacuate immediately. Deploy all forces in an attempt to find the bomb. We've got to get the people out of there, and we can either try and do it quietly and slowly, or we can, you know, get everyone out of there. I don't think this guy wants to kill, the parishioners. He wants to kill the priest. He wants to make a statement there. So let's announce the bomb threat and order everyone to evacuate immediately, and then maybe once the building's empty, this guy detonates the bomb and, takes a little vengeance for his wife, and nobody gets hurt. Hopefully, including my officers. Everybody get out, there's a bomb! An improvised explosive device has been discovered under a pew near the altar. Ensure that the cathedral has been evacuated, disconnect the battery, or cut all the wires. Ensure that the cathedral has been evacuated. This is not my... You're not my bomb techs, guys. Offender caught officers unharmed and civilians unharmed. Excellent. Somehow we defused the bomb just by looking at it. Maybe what's unspoken there was that massive property damage. The cathedral blew up, but we caught the guy, and nobody got hurt. And that's what's important. Right? Right? Theft. We caught him! We caught him! We caught the guy! The museum theft! We caught the night watchman. And Armstrong gets a boost, along with Robbins and Tsubaki, but Armstrong gets another boost. 255. Beasley comes up. We arrested all the suspects. Case closed! We closed the case. Go over to my investigations because we have 2 other investigations open and active presently. I need to know which detectives are on which shift would be helpful. We've got a destruction of property case that's open. What shift are you guys even on? No. Johnson, don't abandon that. Close you down. Take me over to the police station. Today is shift A, and we've got Lockett, Moser, and Johnson all on shift A, and then Beasley, Mole, and Armstrong. Okay, so Lockett, Moser, and Johnson are the ones on the shift today. Go over to the investigations. So that's the thing that's being investigated on shift B, primarily. But this one is Moser, Johnson, and Armstrong just needs to come home, and then I can put him on that case and help try and close it. Yes, for the day. Okay. As far as this one goes, I mean, having people on this side of things investigating when Mole's not around is not a bad idea. Let's put Beasley on there. For now. In a support role. Yeah. Beasley, get in there. And do some work. We've got another public indecency call at the Everyday Mall. Did we release that guy before, and now he's jerking it in the mall? I swear this community brings out the sluttiest in people every damn time, says Hologram 1. What? Okay, I don't want to watch. I don't want to know what you're saying over there. A drunken teenager encouraged by a group of friends stripped off his clothes at the cash register and attempted to purchase a pack of condoms. Seems like some sort of hazing or a rite of passage, that sort of a thing. Austin, get in there and shame the boy about his surprisingly small penis. Even if it's giant, just tell him it's surprisingly small. Monk? Who the hell is Monk? Chief, some guy in rags is trying to enter the police station. He says that he's a Tibetan monk and he wants to talk to our patrolman about the nature of violence. Should we let him in? No. No. I mean, if you've got an issue for us, if there's work involved, if you want us to solve something, but you want to come in and talk to us about the nature of violence, no. Especially if you're wearing a robe under which you could conceal something. No, thank you. Sorry. I mean, I wanted to be a monk. You know, I wouldn't walk up to the... That's a crazy monk right there. I want to talk to you about the nature of I'm going to solve it. Yeah. Best case scenario, he's a crazy monk. Worst case scenario, he's dressed up like a monk to deliver a bomb into the precinct. Keep the crazies out. Thank you very much. The Sands want my help. As a safety precaution, we've decided to change all the staff that work on the ranch. We just hired 8 new maids from a neighboring city, but the bus they were taking got intercepted by some of Vargas's punks. Let's teach them that even our maids can't be trifled with. I mean, those are innocent civilians, and it's an attack on the bus, and they're just people trying to get work, and yes. Yet Vandal and Underwood, get over there and help. I really want to... I want to get one up for Vargas here, but he's not giving me a lot of good chances, you know? I need some things that I don't need to go to. Austin, penis shamed the boy into, plus 10 XP for herself. Tier 5 lol, says Noah Craw. Were you lolling? Why are the cheers not coming in? I don't see any of the cheers coming in. Noah, you've broken the cheers. Break the cheers, Vaughn. The hockey team that Mr. Sands owns is getting ready for an important match. The ice arena is closed during training hours, but the stadium director just reported some people in strange clothes breaking into the arena and climbing onto the stands. Guess you shouldn't have involved yourself in a gang war then. Eh? Eh? I'm leaving the Sands to deal with that, and I'm hoping that Vargas comes up with one more thing that I can do for him today. Because I've already opened a box with a severed head in it for him. Well, Kubota has, and he doesn't look any worse for the wear. Give me something I can do for you, Vargas, and I'll push you ahead by another point. A crazed woman just rang in. My God, this wretch is going to kill my baby. Please send everyone you can right away. The call then ended abruptly. Everyone that I can. Okay, this is gonna be like a non-call call or something, right? Samadhi, get out there and bring peace to the situation. Austin, get out there to something. Kubota and Tsubaki, I need you to survive, so then we'll just send in Gilbert. There you go. I'm liking the game. Well, I've already said that, haven't I? I mean, it's good. These little scenarios are fun. They stop being like a, you know, they become more of a management affair at this point in the game, which helps to move the days through and push. It's good. It's well-paced. The Vargases need help. Whatever you want, Han. We got a little money together and decided we'd build a bar in the basement of one of our houses. Opening day is today, and someone started pounding on the front door. At first, we thought it was neighbors complaining about the noise, but then Sands people rushed in. They're smashing everything. Some of us got out, but others are beat pretty bad. I don't really want to go to this kind of thing. Let the child die. Burn the children. Use the thermite drone. The child shall be cleansed with flame. This is why there are no names. But I do want to push Vargas ahead. So. Oh, who do you send to this? Vandal is already dirty. I know that. Tsubaki, I believe, is already dirty as well. Vandal and Tsubaki. Get in there. Get in there. I can always talk to Sands Ranch and ask them to kill some of my unwanted officers and things. An elderly woman's cat got into a fight with a neighbor's dog. The dog ran back home when 4 other cats jumped out of the house to the rescue. Yeah, it's a false alarm. She said, my baby this animal is going to, you know, this whatever it is going to kill my... Oh, it was a cat. Cleanse the cat with flames. Send in the thermite drones. I think we just got through another day here, people. Oh, no, we didn't. Attempted murder at the bridge. A woman driving past on the bridge saw two thugs grabbing a skinny guy by his legs. Hey. I've put on the pounds. Anyway, my legs are really nice. Have you ever seen me in nylons? And hanging him over the bridge railing. A woman driving past saw two thugs grabbing a skinny guy and hanging him over the bridge railing. The man was struggling and shouting. He had a large rubber band attached to his legs. He was shouting, "Woo, this is gonna be great, dude!" Powers. Robbins. Underwood. I'm protecting Kubota. He's seen some shit, man. Severed head in a box. This has got to be the last call of the day, I should think. Never harm a cat or I'll cut you. Good thing the cat's fine, says Hologram 1. Exactly, yeah. You didn't mind burning the child down with thermite gel. But, oh, a kitty? Destruction of property. Oh, good, we've got more frames on our open investigation. Oh, I was supposed to assign my detective to that one case. Derp. Ooh. Alright. I remember this case. So this was the fellow who rode his motorbike into the church, rode through the aisles, first off, then he popped open a confessional cabinet, threw a bottle at a man in there while making some comment to him about finding the devil, then he went over and pushed the priest down, and then he rode off into the sunset. And we've already lined some things up here. He rode through the pews, he threw a bottle at a fella in a cabinet, he pushed the priest, oh yeah, he threw his helmet at the Jesus statue, and then we found the helmet later with a little bit of scuff from Jesus, I believe. And now we got 3 new frames. We decided that these were not useful because this shows him kicking, and he didn't kick, he pushed. This shows him dragging the man out of the confessional. That never happened. This shows the helmet without any bird shit on it. The helmet. On a black helmet with a white spot on top. Okay, so that's not useful. This one shows him riding through the pews and... What's the difference between this and this? Hang on, move it over here. Oh, he's riding a four-wheeler instead of a motorbike there. I do remember... He's right, it's a three-wheeler. I do remember the asphalt, it said, we found traces from 3 motorcycle tires. So this is a motorbike, two wheels, right? Yes, and this is the three-wheeler. That makes the most sense. Guy Cold Pie, cheering 5 so the cheers still work. I still can't determine if this is the worst, violentest city in the world or if this is just everyday 1985 business. It's just... I hope it's not the worst, violentest city in the world, because I think I live in a city that's very much like this. It looks like we've got a shot of him entering the church on the three-wheeler. Yes! We've got it. The suspect is Gregory Polzin, biker. Esquire, extraordinaire. Okay, so there's only one place to go and catch him, apparently. It's at Kevin's Throat's bar. Gregory Polzin continued pursuing the devil in the bottom of a glass. I have to send 2 officers, and I can send the SWAT. He's kind of crazy. I haven't used the SWAT today, and I don't expect to. I think we've gotten through most of the day. We'll send Samadhi and Austin in. We'll send Samadhi and Kubota in. Kubota's got to do something for his pay here, you know? He stared at a severed head today, and he's got to do something more worth a damn. How'd we do with the attempted murder? Caught him, prevented the deaths, nobody gets injured. Wow, after you get like a good, strong police force going, you know, there's no more of that, oh, we lost an officer stuff going on. Maybe I'm just playing the game well. I'll bet if we would have let the monk in the police department, he would have had a bomb attached to him, I would have lost like 5 employees or something like that. And we caught him. Nobody got hurt because we sent the SWAT. Excellent. We picked him up. We were able to arrest all the suspects. Moser goes up. Johnson goes up. We close another case. And I have to end the day? Damn it, I wanted to assign some more detectives to things now that I've read them in. Inglonius donates $5 directly. Going crazy, Bong? Wi-Fi is magic and also bullshit. Well, I don't know what the hell you were saying there, so... Yes. Me too. What? What do you mean? Thank you for the $5. Did he send $5 at all? What's going on? I don't know. I don't get it. I know that we need to take a live stream break, though. Thank you. Thank you, Inglonious. Right? It was... We just... I'm going mad. We need to take a brief 7-minute live stream break. When we come back, more This Is the Police. And also, I will sing you a song. I might just sing you a number of songs, in fact. I've got a couple in mind. One of them's about Jesus. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. 7-minute break, don't go anywhere, we'll be back. But right now, why not listen to Jazzar's Black Hole? Possibly because you play this song all too often, Pawn. Yeah, well, it's a long one, and I don't have to schedule as many songs in order to set up the 7-minute break. Back in 7, Pawn that out.
Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to a twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn live stream here on twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn, your only source for twitch.tv/Ronin Pawnery. Also, though, you could watch it on youtube.com/Ronin Pawn. You could actually get to the live stream recordings after the fact at pawnlive.roninpawn.com. I set up a redirect. But other than that, your only source for a guy called Pie Cheering 5. Pawn, when are you going to read that TNG script on stream? Oh yeah, you'll have to keep reminding me until I actually do it. That's what people usually have to do with me, just keep reminding him until he actually does it. This is the police. Yes, that sentence is grammatically correct. You're welcome. Welcome back to the police. To the police. Shut up. Shut up. Resume the game. Sans and Vargas are in competition. I have made sure that Vargas is ahead 2 of the days so far. I don't understand. I'm not entirely sure. I should probably look up, because the rules of this thing are if I let Vargas be the leader 3 days in a row, then I die. But by the end of this thing, Vargas has to be in the lead by 3. 3 points. And I don't know, it was a 2-week thing, and I don't know when it ends. I need to, like, get in here and actually focus and figure out what the hell I need to do to not screw this up, because I'm enjoying the game, I want to keep playing the game. And I could very easily screw it up, and I don't think there's a go back in the save system for this game, so if I screw it up, that's the end of This Is the Police on the channel. So if you're hating this series, then try and keep me distracted. If you're liking it, remind me to read that TNG thing over and over again until I do. And also remind me not to screw it up. So, I named this live stream, Whoa, 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 I've Seen the Face of the Lord, and I promised that I would sing something to you. I don't know where the context of that is or how I get it in here, though. Somebody left a comment on one of the live streams, saying, one of the live streams where our Wednesday live streams where Jesus came up, Jesus dated a prostitute. And I said, yes, indeed. Indeed he did. Because I've written some lyrics for a song, alternate lyrics to a song that a band that I was in used to perform, that was called I've Seen the Face. Well, no, it wasn't called that. It was called Field Song. Field Song is a very gospel-y kind of a song with clapping and stuff. So maybe I can teach you a song and we can all sing along. Huh? Shall we all sing along to a odd Christian-y alternate lyric going of a song that no one's ever heard before? Yes, let's do it. Ooh, I'm down for that, says Why Are There No Names? You guys are weird. I wouldn't think anybody would be down for that. Please don't do that, Pawn. This is a guy called Pie. Trust me, you'll love the song, and if you pay close attention to the lyrics, you'll love the song. Jesus dated a prostitute. Wasn't that Brian and the Welsh girl? I mean, oh, The Life of Brian? And the Welsh girl? The Life of Brian? I saw that movie, but it didn't connect with me. I didn't like that one, particularly, of Monty Python's offerings. I do enjoy any film where they show full frontal male nudity. I just like that because it's like, it's so, like, it's way more, whoa! Which it shouldn't be, right? I mean, you see full frontal female nudity here and there. You see it a lot if you know how to use the interwebs. But, you see, you know, there's always some form of female nudity. Not always. There's often some form of female nudity in modern movies. In just, you know, stuff regularly. Even if it's not full frontal. But the thing is, with men, there's no such thing as, like, full... There's just... You're either showing it or you're not, you know? So if we're going to see, you know, tits, as often as we do, you'd think we'd get a little bit of sausage in the mix. And so when you see it, isn't it true? Don't you have that you know, that moment whenever, I mean, when in Life of Brian, and he just, like, throws open the curtains, and it looks back at him, and is just soft penis, just little, you know, he's a grower, not a shower. But it's just there, and it's like, whoa! Penis! I like it! I like seeing penis. I want to see more penis. You guys want to see some penis? Hang on. Twitch hasn't changed its policies yet. Twitch's policies have always been against penis, but they are updating their policies. I think shortly, right? End of February,
or February 20-something. I just got notice that Twitch is updating its policies to be a little bit harsher on people being dicks in the community and people being racists in the community and that sort of a thing. I don't know how they're going to enforce that, but okay. They're also cracking down on content in terms of, you know, adult-themed things, which, I don't know, it depends on their implementation of it. I mean, I get it, there's a lot of kids, obviously, on Twitch here. It's a watching video game play kind of a show. One part of it that I do like that I heard about is that they're going to be, like, considering even things like camera angles. Because, you know, a lot of people on Twitch, a lot of women in particular on Twitch, have made themselves a very, very quick sort of following by having the webcam sort of up here. Just like up here, facing down at them, and then they wear scooping V-neck shirts and things like that. And apparently Twitch is going to be correcting it. I kind of like that because it's just cheap, isn't it? It's just kind of cheap. I don't mind that here and there. I don't mind a little sexiness here and there, but when you're going to build something off of, you know, I've got tits, would you like to see 75% of them? Please tune in and watch me quietly and without significant commentary or much entertainment to it play, you know, a Blizzard game. It seems cheap. So I kind of like that end of things, but at the same time, you know, I don't really want them... The fact that there are kids around, you know, could we have maybe a difference between, like, this is an adult-friendly stream and this is a child-friendly stream? Could we, like, maybe something like that? Because I don't want to be censored for speaking to people who have the maturity to deal with more than just, you know, little plastic ponies with pink hair. Not any offense to Steve Every Pony. I love it too. No more titty streamers, says Noah Craw. Well, possibly not. Pawn to a stream in Speedos, says Ice Cream. I mean, I am. You just don't get to see it most of the time. I'm just sitting here in a G-string, in a thong. Let's require people to submit proof of their age before being allowed on the internet, please, says a guy called Pie. No, it's just, I don't know. Not like you have to be this age and prove it. But, you know, having that little tick saying this is not necessarily like an adult. It's just, I don't know. It's a hard issue to manage. I don't want to lose, the ability to be adult-friendly because there happen to be, you know, kids on this platform as well. Construction of a new school postponed again. Yeah, they're all watching titty streams on Twitch. New federal law allows criminals to launder money more easily. Yay! Freeburg to host exhibition of children's drawings. Good, maybe the, internal affairs won't come in and take 25% of my bank accounts, which is just a ridiculous mechanic in the game. My personal bank account, IA can come in and say, we're taking a quarter of your income. It's not, you don't have laws to do that. What are you talking about? I would pay to see Paul in a thong. Also, a bit late, I know, but Twitch already has mature streams, says Noah Craw. Do they? Do they have, like, intentionally, you can have a mature stream and say we're having a mature stream? Are you allowed to do something like that on Twitch? Do they? Yes, says Noah. I had no idea. Well, then we're going to play that lesbian bondage game that I found. Vaughn was naked once in his clickbait series he did some time ago. Twice, too. Once in the clickbait series and once in, I think my first ever recording when I bought the camcorder. I got the camcorder because of your donations. My first, like, experimental action footage on the off channel, whatever that was called. Ronan Pawn Presents. Yes, I did a sequence there where I got in the shower and threw the thing down and then put it back up, put my robe on and off when I was getting in the shower. I blurred it. I know how to use mosaic features. But it was very difficult in the rendering because the blurred area was just so long. Naked Pawn is best pawn. It's Shift B, we're going on Shift. Before we get started, I need to teach you a song about Jesus and prostitutes, okay? So it goes, it's called Field Song, or it was called Field Song. I changed the lyrics from what they originally were because I just had a stroke of genius one day and wrote some new lyrics to the song. So Kyle McBee, who wrote the song in our old band, Dead Letters, you know, this is not I'm sorry for impugning your copyright and trademark. And it's not a statement that your lyrics weren't good. I couldn't even remember your lyrics. I just came up with my own. Goes something like this. Everybody clap along. Ready? Whoa, whoa, I've seen the face of the Lord. Whoa, wow. I've seen the face of the Lord. Holy Mother Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Our wedding needs wine if we're gonna keep merry, merry. Heard your boy knows the brewer. Is it true or is he just another Sadducee? Sad to see me sipping on it. Whoa, wow. Yeah, I've seen the face of the Lord. Whoa, wow. Yeah, I've seen the face of the Lord. Matty, Marky, Lukey, Johnny, Timmy, Tommy, Paulie, Jimmy, Johnny, Barty, Judas, bringing back the rye. Maggie and the son of man, she takes him by the hand and they retire and nobody here is asking. Wow, wow, I've seen the face of the Lord. Whoa, wow, I've seen the face of the Lord. When you wake up one day and every trace of you has gone away, what's left in the mirror? Draw nearer, yeah, 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 ooh, ah, so forth and so on. Back to the game. Sounds like a Nickelback song. It's just the voice I'm doing, Noah Cross.
Boyd.
Is everything okay, Jack?
Story!
I'm not calling in the middle of a job.
No, you're okay. Did you find her?
Yes, I found her. Nothing shocking, don't worry. She's
We're
living
looking
with
for
an
his
insurance
wife.
agent in the suburbs. He's 31 years old, recently divorced. He has a funny car, you know, like in that movie where that...
Did you talk to her?
Yeah, we talked. More like I talked and she basically cried. God, she hasn't cried so much since high school. You know, she was dating this boy from a restaurant and, what was his name?
Honey.
Laura. She'll be back?
Of course she'll be back. She just needs time.
Time? You mean once she gets tired of screwing the insurance agent?
Jack,
Yeah.
you're talking about my
That's what I
daughter.
said.
Yeah,
Time.
I know.
And a good
I
screwing.
I want to... Well, I just wanted to come back as soon as possible.
Don't worry, I'm with you. We just need a little patience. I know it's asking a lot, Jack, but you really just gotta be patient. Wait for my call.
All right. Again, I'll wait for the call. Yes, understood. I know the situation is asking a lot from you too, Mrs. Markham. Thank you. And please, call me anytime.
Jack,
Boom!
you okay for money?
Excuse me?
Well, you know, where the papers were talking about your resignation, they said you and Laura were a little tight, and I thought maybe you'd...
Good God.
I knew there was a
Jack?
coming. Little tight. We're a little tight over here. Honey, I'm selling cocaine for the mafia. I'm fine, okay? I got a barn full of PCP that I do on a regular basis just to get through the days. Honey! Hologram 1 says, maybe you leave the lyric writing to me and you concentrate on playing the music. Are you kidding me? Holy Mother Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Our wedding needs wine if we're gonna keep merry, Mary. Heard your boy knows the brewer. Is it true, or is he just another Sadducee who's sad to see me sipping on it? Sadducee. The Sadducees and the Pharisees and the... So there's so much depth in that line, in that single 7 lines of music that I consider one line of music. I'm a good maker of words, too. Gregory Poulsen turned out to be a member of a gang known as Wheels of Empire. So the fellow who was riding through the church on his 3-wheeler turned out to be a member of a gang known as Wheels of Empire. He could help you to take down the gang if you make him an informant. Let's bust another gang and get me another fat, bonus. So, Gregory is somehow connected to Anton Trechikov. We need to start to investigate Anton Trechikov. The only person in today is Armstrong on this shift. How the hell did that work? Why are you guys not available? Damn it. Are they just on their way back? Maybe they're coming back. Hang on, let me see. Did I send people out, or... I don't know. Where are you guys? Why is half my shift off for the day? God, freaking hell. Alright, just go and start investigating, and I'll see if I can't get you some support here. What's going on? Beasley, Mole, Armstrong, you're all on shift. Did I just... No, we just started the day. Why are they not here? What, It's Shift B, you're on Shift B. Did I move them around? Did I give them days off that I forgot about? How, and what, and why? And Lee Song, ooh, I could hire another Asian for the could hire another Asian, because I need them around. Is there anybody who needs firing, other than Percy, because I can't fire Percy? I might be able to get him killed, though. That's one of our goals, is to get Percy killed. Backlog. If I go back, fire all the black cops, didn't do that. Eliminate the red gang mask. Apparently didn't do that on time, but I did eventually do that. Mafia assignment, feminist protest. Yeah, they weren't happy with me there. The assignment, hire female cops, hire Asian cops. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Affairs. Police station, hit City Hall, or the Sands. What am I need to know how the rules of this thing work in terms of the two warring mob thing. It doesn't look like it's in the backlog. They told me once, but I wasn't paying attention, so how the hell am I supposed to know? Shoot. Somebody want to look that up and figure out, like, what it was that I'm supposed to do for This Is the Police? In terms of the two gangs? I know the general rules, but I'm afraid if I do it wrong, you know, I don't even know what day it's supposed to end on. In the police station, we've looked at the backlog. At City Hall, I can only request new things. The Mafia isn't going to tell me what it is that I need to do by the end of the 2-week period. I assume it's going to come up and say, you know, you got 3 days before the end of the thing, make sure the right person wins. I feel a little bit lost in the wilderness here. Let's just deal with some disorderly conduct on a playground, I guess. King Killer 52 is now following. Thank you for the follow, King Killer 52. Currently learning violin. Can you play cowbell? Pawn's music needs more cowbell. I could probably drum, but I haven't tried and don't really see any appeal in it. Noah Cry, you don't see any appeal in drumming? Let me show you. It's fun! It's fun! I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer boy. Drumming is much harder than it looks. Yeah, you get used to it. A young mother reported that an old man in rags entered the playground, climbed the hill, and began shouting, "The universe is made of suffering and hatred. It will kill all of you." Shit, they've caught up to me. The outraged mother shouted back, "Go away, you're scaring the children." Okay. Yeah, Hunter. Okay. Hunter. I don't know what Hunter, Texas Ranger, Walker, where's Hunter from? Hunter, Texas Ranger, on the job. Take out... I might be able to make Percy better at all this. I might. Like, Tsubaki... I don't think this is a good one for Percy. I think he'll drag Hunter down. And we might not catch this guy. Maybe this guy goes crazy and kills Percy. Let's send Percy out with Hunter. They might balance each other out, I don't know. If you don't hand drum, you're not a human, says Noah Craw. To be honest, who doesn't hand drum? Yes. I used my foot, too. You couldn't hear that. Although I think maybe in the other room they heard that. Sorry. Mr. Varga sent us to meet and escort one of his associates, but right in front of us, a giant truck crashed into his car. This can't be a coincidence. Sand is trying to kill us. Okay. I need to keep helping the Vargases, but he can't win too many days in a row. This is the kind of incident where an officer would show up regardless. Don't want to send Purdy. She's my my liaison with the Sands, with that end of the Mafia. And send Asano or Yancey, who looks grizzled. God Bomber's kind of grizzled. But he's a man of God and bombing. I don't want to draw him into this. Yancey? You're the man for the job. Get in there. All this smart talking is boring. Can we go back to talking about sex? Sure. So, G-strings. Actually, we've got a thing in. But actually, I recently, alright, this is not like a new concept, especially within like the sci-fi world and that sort of a thing, but I want to know if it's been done, and even if it has been done, I still kind of want to do it, alright? Understanding how, the basics of how, like, pile batteries work, and how thermal and energy and stuff like that, I want to make a pair of underwear that, it's got, like, copper contacts, copper for heat transfer to skin, maybe good. It's got some kind of metallic contact, possibly copper, right in your crotch, okay, right where the leg meets the groin. So right there on both sides, it's got a contact with your skin, and then it goes into the fabric so it's not contacting the skin, and the wire itself alternates back and forth between two different metals that have two different thermal capacities for exchanging to air. Maybe copper and aluminum. Copper, good transfer of heat to aluminum. Aluminum, good transfer of heat to air. I'm not sure. You'd have to do some experimenting or just, find out how, what the best metals are from people who've already done this. And then you just make a pile battery out of the wire, going back and forth from one to the other. You could do in manufacturing. Maybe every 1/16 of an inch, it changes from one metal to the next. And that doesn't contact the body that's on the outside. And so you're generating electricity, taking the heat from your body, pushing it through the wire. The wire is trying to find a thermal. It's trying to get like normal with the outside air from the heat that you're producing, which causes electron flow and electron charge in the wire, which is now a battery. And then you've got a little USB thing that's attached to the side, and you can charge your phone from your crotch. Huh? I mean, if we can get like 2.5 volts out of that. Most USB charging devices only actually do like 2.5 volts when you get, mainly because the cables are shit. But when you get like, it's not actually the 5 volts that are on a USB line. Usually you get 2 and some volts. So you could charge your phone from your crotch, right? And this is, okay, upgrade to the idea, all right? So you're taking energy from your crotch right there between the legs and the groin, easy to do. Better if you do it with a G-string, because then you can have a third contact right in your ass crack. Lots of heat in the ass crack, okay? Now, additionally, you want to take this up top, put it under your armpits, have some contacts under your armpits for making more thermoelectric, and then women, especially women with particularly large breasts, would have an advantage here because we could do it in the underwire of the bra. That's another high heat area. It's skin folding over. So, what I'm saying is there is a very good reason for the military to create cyber suits that have powered devices in them that are powered from the body, and then, it's very important, you need to find women with D cups and great big asses and just put them in these skin-tight suits. And there is a perfectly logical and technical explanation for why you need to do that with busty, large-assed women in skin-tight suits. It's a good idea, right? It's a good idea, isn't it? So, Paul, what you're suggesting is when someone gets hot and wet, they can charge their phone from their arousal. Kind of. Interesting idea. So it's a self-powering vibrant... Sorry, copper and aluminium. Are you trying to cause galvanic corrosion? Oh, that's actually a thing, isn't it? Two metals sitting next to each other, and they're transferring their electrons, and then they... Yes. Besides, most USB charging devices are 5-volt 3-amp nowadays. You're never going to have that many amps if you tried. I honestly think the Pornhub fapping charging armband is more useful than that barely works. Are you kidding me? 5-volt 3-amp most charging these days? You obviously have not done, like, actual amperage tests on what the chargers are putting out. Because what you're getting out of these things, regardless of what they say on them, is significantly less than that. If you're getting 1 amp, 2.5 volts, you are doing real good. Real good on, and any electricity that you can trickle into your phone would be just fine. And I think with all those different contacts and all the heat that the body generates, I think you could do it. I think you could do it. And this would just be a small level test to see how many amps you can generate from, your crotch and stuff for the larger eventual, nanofiber suit that would have just the entire suit would be basically semiconductors. It would be basically a whole suit that is taking the heat of your body and turning that into electric storage. Imagine having like a suit that you put on that's taken from your armpits, your crotch, and your ass crack, and under your tits. And it's got like lights built into the cuffs and stuff like that never go out because they're powered by your body. Could totally be done. Totally be done. Oh, anyway, there's an armed robbery apparently. Some jewelry was being transported in a black van, says the van. The side of the van was decorated with the Diamond Protection Security Agency logo. Diamond Protection Security Agency logo. So they stole some diamonds from... security says there was one security guard armed with a pistol. How did that work out, by the way? What's that bloody body over there? There were 3 bikers armed with submachine guns. Anton Tetrovic, which is the guy that we're... Tetrikov, is the guy that we're investigating. And his associates were traveling on bikes painted with camouflage colors. Interesting. And we've got some witnesses saying that at the time of the robbery, the van was passing a few cars. The drivers of these vehicles reported that the first biker jumped to the median and went straight for the van head-on like a suicidal madman. The van tried to avoid collision and went off the road and overturned. The robbers took everything of value from it, and were about to leave when a bloodied guard emerged from the van's cab and opened fire. The bikers emptied their weapons at him and fled. Now we've got a deadman. Deadman and the bikers, and we've got the little logo up there of their thing. We're investigating this. Okay. I need more investigators on that. Can I do that now? Can I, assign to the armed robbery more detectives? From the wrong shifts, I believe. Armstrong and Moser are on opposing shifts. I'm not sure about Johnson and Luckett. Regardless, I think I'm going to put Luckett and Johnson on here, and they can work on the opposing shifts. They can still keep moving things through. And then we'll have Moser free for something else. And we're closing up another investigation soon, hopefully, right? In fact, what's going on with this theft? Show me the details of the theft. No, don't show me the details. Okay, this is the hospital thing. We need more pictures in. Can I get more detectives assigned to that one so we can, you know, tie it up? Moser, get on that one as well. Beasley, Moser, and Mole, all investigating. Can move people around if we get more detective incidents in. How do we do at the playground? We caught him! Officers unarmed! Percy comes up to 25! With just, 13 more successful cases, Percy could end up being almost slightly useful. Huh? 13? That's all? That's all. Ice Cream Pawn, would you ever consider putting some lyrics I wrote to music with your guitar? Says Algram. Well, if they're good. If they're good. If they're as good as Ani DeFranco. Is anyone here familiar with Ani DeFranco? Because she was my first true love in music, you know? There were other bands that I loved listening to, but in terms of like, oh my god, this music and this woman, and it pierces my soul, Ani DeFranco is the thing. I could sing you round a pole, I could talk you up a tree, but when it comes to what really matters, you are way more clever than me. I said I wanted to be challenged, but I was unclear about how. So I'll be the guy with the toolbox if you'll be the fun-loving gal. And I'll learn to fix stuff if you will teach me to love. And God will radiate out from within us instead of this bullshit from above. And we can dance round like monkeys till after the paparazzi have all gone home. Haven't let go forever the fallacy of ever being alone. Ani DeFranco. That's one of her later songs. That wasn't even what got me to fall in love with her, but geez, when I'm alone and that song comes into my head, my eyes start to well. I remember listening to her first album, or the first album that I ever came upon of hers, 40, what is it, I don't remember now, but I remember, you know, the first album I came upon her, I took it home, I put it in the CD player, started listening to it, and I wound up, like, lying in my bed, crying, sobbing into my pillows because I had found a human being on this planet who got my experience, didn't even know me. Didn't even know who I was, and completely got my experience. Lesbian, of course. I've told you I'm attracted to lesbians. Who's cheering? Cheer 5. So does my cheering actually work now, says Noah. It does! Congratulations! They have movement-charged USB banks, is why are there no names. A small motor wouldn't take... Oh, God. You're actually... Okay, you guys whip up the design notes on my, crotch-powered USB underwear, and we'll get to work on it. Ice Cream, I sent you a link to one of the songs over Discord DMs. Tell me what you think of it after the stream, maybe? I'll be busy after the stream, but if you keep pestering me, I will respond. Why are there no names? How much do they generate via movement? Okay, yeah, you guys do the math, and then I'll just start soldering, and we'll get there. Bomb threat in the ghetto. An anonymous tip just came in. Some thugs are messing around with plastique explosives in the I didn't say plastic. Plastique in the basement of an abandoned house, and are handing it out to children along with toys. Yeah. What are you doing? That she took the day off yesterday because she's a drunk. Coachies, I got a lot of people on this shift. Might as well use them against these bastards. Let's keep Roy and Osno back. Send Smith in. We'll send Millsap. I'll withhold 5 of my officers. They'll probably call for backup anyway. Jesus, God. The hell is going on in this city? We're playing with plastic explosives and then handing them to children. Intern detectives? No, Crouching 5, this is what I'm studying for. Electricity generating underwear. What am I doing with my life, says Noah. Hey, I think it's a beautiful idea. Here's the thing, Noah. Here's the thing, everybody listening. Like, one, it would just be, like, interesting to know how much electricity you could suck out of a human's body just from their heat production using really, you know, just simple electrical mechanical concepts. Not even going crazy with the things that you can do nowadays. If you've got, you know, you could attach Peltier units to your armpits and wick the heat away and turn it into... There's a lot of things you could do, but I'm just talking about pile battery mechanics, you know, electricity going between... Electrons moving between two different types of metal and creating, you know, a battery scenario, that kind of thing. Very simple. It would be interesting just to find out how much you can generate, and even if it wasn't really viable as a product for any use, damn, wouldn't that make a good YouTube video? Don't you think like 1 million people would click on that? You know? Very marketable, first off. Underwear that charges your phone. And 2, you get to, you know, try some science and then slap some science on people. Introduce some people to, you know, things that they might not understand. Or not. Just be like, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it and whatever. But that would be a very good, you know, YouTube video and an experiment. Yeah. Regardless of whether it could be made into a marketable product. And you know, sooner or later, we're going to have that. We're going to have clothing that does generate electricity from a human body, because why not, you know? We got hot people who want to be cooler. We can wick the power or the heat away from you, turn it into electricity, and use it for other things. You can Bluetooth your underwear to your phone. It's a good idea. You know it's a good idea. Racing Cheering 100. I left a link in Discord. It has already been invented. I would have presumed that someone had done something like this. But I don't want to know, Tremacian. Spoilers! Tremacian! Thank you for the link in Discord, and thank you for the cheers. I still want to do it. And I want to do it like, you know, stupid method. Hardcore method. Just wires going back and forth. I never will, though, so Noah, get on it. Jack, we just got another round of fresh young detectives ready for field training in different police departments across the country. There's a couple smart guys in the bunch, the best in the course. And I don't want them to train under some smug jerk who's going to ruin their talents. Let them spend a week working with you, okay? I bet you could use the help. I don't need to babysit some dumb kids. Deputy Director Mark Rewe. Okay. Okay, so now we've got more, detectives that I can move around, or maybe they'll be coming in tomorrow. Is that the idea? Because I don't see them in the list. No, we've got them in. All right. All right. Yeah. What is this? Like, wait. Cheer 100. Like all technology, steal it and improve it, says Mason. Indeed, that's the only way to do anything in the friggin' world. Mole is a good officer to train under. I'm gonna put Ledesma. Ledesma? Jesus. Cheer 5, what is this? Like the 11th project you asked me to help you on? You know, this... Yes? It's 12, actually. Get on it, Noah! Make me thermal electrical underwear with a USB port. Chop, chop. I mean, you're done with the bot, right? It's past the 7th, so the bot works. The basics work, anyway. Every good vigilante needs a good engineering department. Noah crosses, why are there no names? Yes. I do. I'm gonna need that thermal underwear to power my drones with the thermal explosives that will be the thermite drop. Ledesma, get on there and start working with that team. And then in the armed robbery, Schmeling, get on there and start working with that team. Couldn't hurt. It could, actually. They could drag the fair investigations of the other officers down. We get a bunch of pictures that don't make any sense whatsoever. Pawn, I read chapter 5 of Matthäus. You mean Matthew? In the New Testament, in the Gospels, you read chapter 5 of the book of Matthew. I won't quote anything, but what I got out of it is that a homeless guy will harvest more than someone like Trump in life. The life of a child that can only reach an age of 3 is just as / more important than a rich person reaching 80. That's an answer saying that the universe has purpose, an answer to the biggest question, says Dendy. Matthew chapter 5, I recommend you read it. There's, you know, I found it was like, you know, people often say, God, I wish there were a handbook to life, you know? Something they give you when you're born, like, here you go, here's how it works, and here's, you know, like, thousands of years of human history have gone past. Could someone write it all down in a way that's just, like, concise and gets the big points out that are going to help me through the rest of my life? Matthew, chapter 5, at least that little speech is something that's intensely packed with life advice that is basically a handbook to living. Tier 5, does this make me your Lucius Fox? Because I'd be down with being Morgan Freeman, says Noah Craw. You just want to be God, right? Didn't he play God in some Jim Carrey movies? Standard Peltier using body heat current equals 14 milliamps of voltage at 2.4 volts, says why are there no names? So we're almost there. 0.2 volts. Huh? Alright, we just need to increase that by, let's see, 0.2 times, and then carry the 3. We just need, like, 15 more of those, then we can have... We're only trying to get to 2.5 volts. In fact, some cheaper USB chargers, when you do the amperage test, you see how many volts they're actually moving across the wires? It's less than 2. And people are still using them and don't know. They just don't know that it's bad. But they still work. They'll still charge your phone. It'll just take a long-ass time. Let's get her to 1.5 volts, everybody. 1.5 divided by 0.2. We only need to double that 7 times. We're there. 7.5 times. I want to be God, says Noah Cry. It is my goal in life. Well, then, I hate to do this to you, Noah, but, I'm a Buddhist Zen fella. I hate to do this to you and give you no reason to live after now. Noah, you already are God. Sorry. You have nothing to work toward. It's true. Someone came by our secret meeting spot, says the Vargases, introducing themselves as a friend of Mr. Varga and said we could find him in the slum sewers. We, being retarded, actually went down to the slum sewers. But that was a few hours ago, and we haven't heard anything back. We're beginning to get a bit worried. A bit worried, are we? Did they win yesterday as well? Or was it even? I can't remember. I've got to make sure they come in even today. I don't think I can help you go slumming in the sewers, Mr. Vargas. I've got to make sure that you don't win 3 days in a row or else I get killed. Okay, they're calling for backup at the bomb threat in the ghetto where they're handing out the, plastique to the kids to play with. Tier 5, so how do I shoot lightning out of my hands, says Noah Craw. I don't know. Like Peltier units in your crotch? Isn't that what we're working on? You want to be God? Figure it out, God, you know. Situation is more serious than we thought. Can we have some backup? Send in Hunter, Texas Ranger. We've got so many people here. Screw it. Send Percy in, even. I've got so many people at home right now. I'm sure we've got another call that's going to come in shortly, but I can give you, 3 more dudes. The God Bomber. He knows all about bombs and that sort of thing. And I'm sending Percy in. Maybe one person will get killed and it'll be Percy. You push your hands forward and yell, unlimited power, or Kamehameha is also the way that you can do it. The Vargases want my help. I can't help you, Vargas. Not today, anyway. There's an assault in the road. Why don't we do it in the road? Do-do-do-do. 2 trucks collided on a country road near the forest, and police were called by a motorcyclist who was driving past. He said that one of the trucks rolled over and caught fire, but the driver managed to escape the flames. He grabbed a stick from the side of the road, set it on fire, and is now threatening the other driver who has locked himself inside his truck. Alright, well, that sounds like a job for Yancey and Tsubaki. He needs a day off, and we'll get it tomorrow. I don't think I need that many people out on this call. It's an angry dude, legitimately angry out, as long as we stop him from killing a dude. How's the bomb threat handled? With, the entire friggin' squadron there to help. We did good, and Percy got only 5, because he showed up late, apparently. Okay. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed, and we found explosives! Are you going to offer me... Am I going to have the option to sell explosives to the Mafia? Yeah, no, let's not put C4 out onto the streets, fellas. I don't think so. The Sands need help. Okay, I want to help Sands. The wife of a young banker who recently helped us make quite a substantial deal just called up in tears saying some creeps cornered her husband in the garage. Says they tied him up. They're threatening to light him on fire. Vargas's goons, no doubt. Purdy, get in there and help Sands. I don't want Sands to win a day. I just need to make sure that he doesn't lose another day. In fact, can I like pause and save the game before I f this up? The driver is brandishing a burning stick like a torch and striking the other truck's windshield, attempting to get to the other driver. Pull out your baton and challenge the assailant to a duel. Put out the stick with a fire extinguisher or attempt to restrain the assailant. Put out the stick with a fire extinguisher. Man, I'm so good at the math in this game. Can I pause the game and save it so I don't die? No. No. We'll get to the end of the day, and then hopefully I won't be screwed. You would need about 3,000 Peltiers to move a Tesla coil, I think. Are there no names? Just put them in your crotch. There's a lot of heat down there. And then think sexy thoughts. An armed robbery in a pawn shop. In my shop? Which you can visit today at spreadshirt.com/shop/RonanPawn. Cover your dirty body in pawn. A man armed with a gun burst into a pawn shop. I'm going to read that again because of the way that I enunciated those words. A man armed with a gun burst into a pawn shop and demanded that all the money and valuables be put in a bag. It's just one dude, right? I don't want to send the whole friggin' team out on this little, like, one dude with a gun at a pawn shop incident. I will send out McCoy. She's a drunk. She'll know how to handle herself. I'm going to send out Roy. Hunter, Texas Ranger, going to be held behind. Smith and the God Bomber. God Bomber, this sounds like a job for you. Percy, get in there and get killed, would you? And then the SWAT team. Okay? That's my first use of SWAT today, right? No! No, I shouldn't have used the SWAT. Because I can only use them twice a day. It's early in the day, and we just sent them on the, explosives in the street call. Shoot. 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 You know what? Hang on. Go to the police station. Just occurs to me. Personnel. I wanted to put Kubota on shift B. He's home today, so he should be feeling better. Right? So if I switch him to shift B, he'll get a couple of days of rest before he comes back in, and then he'll be in on the day where I need to be showing all of my Asian officers in order to make City Hall happy. Yes. Good work. Way to manage a awful, horrible situation. Why do I have so many detectives on the other thing? Who's working with Shift A right now? Okay, I need to do some more management. Hang on. Hang on. This is important to be done. I need to go to actually my investigations. Okay? And the armed robbery is the shift that's got... Who's on which shift? The woman with the long hair is on the shift with Mole. She's investigating the thing where Mole is leading it. Okay. So, I want to go back to the police station. And I want to take the woman with the long hair, and I want her on the shift that Mole is. Good. Which means Schmeling needs to move to shift A, which will be the team that she's working with on this side of things. Hopefully. Or I've got a big mess here, and I just don't know what the hell's going on. Which is also fairly likely. How'd we handle the armed robbery at the pawn shop? Even with Percy on board, we managed to make it work. And we found some loot in the form of jewelry. Ask the Mafia to sell the jewelry? Or bring it back to the police station. I gotta make money somehow here. The sawmill. The Sands need help. I helped the Sands once today, and I didn't help Vargas. So I gotta watch myself here. Some associates of Mr. Sands were planning to meet and discuss the Vargas situation. The meeting was supposed to happen in a forest outside the city, but our scouts sighted a group of punks hanging around. Sure would like to see the look on their faces when the police roll up from out of the blue. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Okay? You're already one ahead, Sands. I need to make sure that it gets more even. Ooh, we've got more frames for our investigation of the hospital drug robbery. It needs a gradient of at least 20 degrees Celsius for it to be any kind of effective. This is why are there no names. So it could be very useful for agents in polar regions. Just, you're making the argument for it. We know. Okay. We know that this didn't happen in this scenario. There was no sign of forced entry. So nobody forced their entry in. Again, we know. No signs of forced entry. This didn't happen. Somebody using the keys, indeed. That happened. Someone's got the loot. And right now we're showing a lot of images of the doctor. The doctor with the keys right now. Which actually makes a fair bit of sense. I mean, the way that the janitor spoke, which would have been Mr. Bodnar, someone took the garbage bags out of my truck and I can't find them anywhere. And the person in the bathroom says the lights went out. He didn't see anything, but the janitor came in with his cart. I heard him emptying the bin. So he didn't see the janitor. He heard someone emptying the bin. So it does really bode for a story in which the doctor involved in this, Mr. Marcus, head physician, who suspects the student Aaron Jones. He's immediately trying to point the finger at someone else. It does tell a story where the doctor, who had access, used his key, went in, stole the stuff, filled the bag. Oh, I see. So what if we've got a scenario in which the doctor steals the... I get it. The doctor came into the bathroom when the power went out, stole the bags off of the janitor's cart in order to grab a bag, in order to... Aha. Aha. Yes, it's all coming together now. Quite, yes. Which means that would happen near the end. I don't know who this kid is or why he's involved, actually. This is the kid that they were trying to point to, but I don't know what that picture is of, really. So, he's got the bag, he makes his way in, he steals the stuff, he walks out with the bag, and then everything's missing. Those are the last four in the sequence. These two, this didn't happen. I don't know what that would even be a picture of, based on our testimony from Mr. Jones. I was in the bathroom when the lights went out. Is that him in the shitter? Doesn't look like him in the shitter. The lights came on, I went to the head physician's office for a signature, but he wasn't there because he was robbing people. Is this you sitting in the physician's office? Because he's out doing things? I need a picture of him taking a shit. Get on it, everyone. I'm not entirely sure about that part of things. I'm going to leave that off the timeline. I don't know if it helps or hurts that I put things on the timeline. Armed robbery. Oh my god! Detective Armstrong died while he was investigating the armed robbery. I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know that a detective could just be killed during an investigation. Because I had no control over it. Now we have to open an investigation into the murder of Detective Armstrong, who was investigating an armed robbery, and who's going to handle the armed robbery? It's inside. Okay. Okay, so, yeah. This is... So we're not investigating the death of the officer who was investigating it. I just need to reopen the investigation with someone else on the task force. Holy pooping crapping do. Oh no, wait. It looks like it's already shifted people around. The armed robbery, now Luckett is handling it things. We just lost a detective, everybody. I didn't know that could happen. Jesus, hell. I know I've only got 11 seconds to decide whether or not the sand... Oh no, I've decided not to do that. Go to the police station, look at the labor market. We've got room for a new detective. No, he's dead, but we don't have room yet. And it's only Nilai anyway, although that would be another, Asian. So I can't hire people yet. Apparently, we haven't processed his death paperwork. Jesus. Jesus. I didn't know you could get killed that way, everyone. End of the day. Good God. Crap. Okay. Vargas is still in the lead. You can't be in the lead 3 days in a row. Was that 3 days in a row, or was it 2? Did I just die? Is the game gonna let me do the day over if I just died. I don't know. This stream has been live for 2 hours and 8 minutes. Yes, it has. Very good math, Nobut. Excellent. Never trust the government. Cheer 5. Pawn, might be a stupid question, but how much life has this stream in it? 30 hours? 2 hours? Need to know before committing to making snacks. Another hour. Another hour. I've been given the message that I'm free for the evening. So, we're gonna go another hour and we're gonna have a live stream break right now. I should probably click continue and see if I'm dead. We'll find out if I died or not. I haven't been keeping track. We'll find out if I'm dead or not when we come back from the live stream break. 7 minutes, everyone. Noah has to go. Good night, Noah. Thanks for the uptime and the bot, and get on that electric underwear USB charger device. Lickety split. In the meanwhile, let's all have a good listen to Uncle Bibby with their hit song in the top 40 of songs that I play on the live stream. Nobody here but us Charles Dickens. Back in 7, Pawn Not Out. Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, late pawn, back at the twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn, blah blah blah, I say it every time. Speaking of Star Trek again, does anyone remember Patrick Stewart's half-assed American accent in the first few episodes of TNG? No, don't make us recall that if it was a thing, because I don't. We're playing This Is the Police, and presently we are facing the possibility that I've just screwed the game up because I just can't keep track of things while we're live streaming. Too busy, I don't know, not actually playing the game very well. Too busy singing, and shut up. There's a little buzz in this room. If you're wearing headphones, you can hear, like, the light overhead. Little subtle touches in this game. You can hear the zzzz from a neon bulb overhead. Ooh, I love it. It's Maddie, Marky, Lukey, Johnny, Timmy, Tommy, Paulie, Jimmy, Johnny, Barty, Judas bringing back the rye. Huh? That's not my favorite line out of that song that I sang earlier, but, you know, that's I put together a lot of names from the Bible that actually aren't the names of the apostles, but they're the names of books and stuff. You know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. As far as I'm aware, those names are not relevant to the people who actually wrote those books, or really relevant at all in a lot of circumstances. But Maddie, Marky, Lukey, Johnny, Timmy, Tommy, Paulie, Jimmy, Johnny, Barty, Judas bringing back the rye, Bartholomew, James. There were two, like, Thomases or two Johns, or I don't know. I did the best I could with the materials that I had in writing the lines to my semi-Jesus song. Do you get, however, like, what's going on in there? Maggie and the Son of Man, she takes him by the hand and they retire, and nobody here is asking why. See what I'm doing with the story of Jesus? Trying to open up your ideas and minds about who Jesus was, this immensely holy man. And I hate the idea of Jesus as being like this non-human human, because it just reinforces the idea that who he was and the things that were in him that were good for humanity, we can never aspire to actually be that. We can never get there. Why are you suddenly talking about Jesus? Because we were singing the song earlier. Again, I'm a Zen Buddhist, so he's not my guy. He is my guy. He is my guy. But, you know, I'm not a Christian. I'm not trying to shove Christianity down anybody's throat. I'm just saying, you know, don't put your spiritual advisors on shelves, you know, up on pedestals, rather. Don't put them way up high where you can't reach them, you know. Jesus, one of his first people that, you know, he was close to was Mary Magdalene, prostitute. And I, in my head, they absolutely, like, had a romantic relationship. What's wrong with that? You know? What is wrong with Jesus having a romantic relationship with someone? Someone so filled with love couldn't have some romantic love? You're not allowing that in Jesus' life? Is that bad? The first verse of that song that I wrote talks about, you know, it references the scene early in the stories of Jesus where he ends up at a wedding and his mother is like, Jesus, make some wine for people and stuff like that. And he actually makes wine out of water because they made it. And when you talk to Christians about this, you know, they'll say, well, wine back then, they were basically just saying, you know, fruit juice. You know, it was grapes and stuff like that. He didn't make alcohol for people. And I'm sitting here going, why would you attach that? Why would you add that to the story? Why is it that he can't make alcohol? It's a celebration of adults. They're getting married. What's so wrong with people having a little bit of drink with their merriment? Like, it opens the world more. You want to confine the world and make your identity and your idea of, like, what right and wrong is narrower and narrower and then have to try and fit into this tiny little pipe of perfection? There's nothing in the Bible that says Jesus didn't make wine, and in fact, if he did make wine, that's a teaching. Other than that, that story is just Jesus showing off, look, I'm the Son of God, I can make wine from water, and there's no point to that teaching. There's no point to that story. There's a point to that story if Jesus made wine, because it's like, get the stick out of your ass. You know, you can imbibe and not be corrupted by it, which is another one of Jesus' teachings that comes up but over and over and again. You know, that which goes into man does not corrupt man, but passes away in the draft. In other words, what you eat and drink, it all goes out in your shit and piss. That doesn't corrupt you. What corrupts you is what comes out of man, which is your speaking and your lying and your deceiving and your manipulating and your, you know, throwing angry, horrible, caustic things at people. Those are the teachings of Jesus. In my interpretation, this is a reinforcement of that teaching. In the other interpretation where, he was making fruit juice, well, that was just Jesus going, look, I'm a magic man. Bing. Like, what's the point of that? Where's the spiritual teaching in that? It's just to reinforce that he is the son of God, he is not like the rest of us. It's bullshit. There's no reason for it. Burn the world, says Why Are There No Names? Yes, the things that come out of your body, that's what... Well, and how's Whitney? Cheered a guy called Pie. Well, she's out right now. She came back. She was supposed to be in the inpatient thing for 5 days. She came back because apparently she got there and they said, you're not in a state that we can take you. If you get what I'm saying. So rehab actually kicked her out for being too high. Just weird, isn't it? So we're set up now to go tomorrow morning. By the way, the city of Detroit and Southwest Michigan, maybe more of it, we are basically under 1,000 inches of snow that came down in 6 hours right now. The roads are destroyed. My car is buried. My dad snow blew, is that a verb? He shoveled the walks and everything maybe 4 hours ago. It does not appear that anyone has shoveled anything. Because it just keeps coming. Let's continue and let's see if I died. Oh god. We need to do some paperwork for the Stead employee. If I delay the paperwork, I can keep his money coming in. And I can take it off of the top. Or I can declare him dead and his family, you know, can begin mourning. So, I'm gonna lose the game by virtue of the fact that I won't be, you know, evil enough, apparently. If I haven't just lost the game. Checkpoint on day 21. Okay, I think I'm still alive anyway. Woo! Woo! When did Armstrong die, says a guy called Pie. He was just investigating. He was on an investigation assignment. I had no interaction. They didn't pop up a thing that said make a choice. It just, the fact that he was investigating, he was killed. I didn't know that could happen in the game. Now we know that can happen in the game. Your detectives can be murdered just out and about, doing their jobs. Religion can eat a dick, says Why Are There No Names? Yeah! What? Money allocated for stadium reconstruction, now missing. Damn it, I could have had this cut of that. Looming epidemic, the new... I couldn't have, they never gave me the option. Looming epidemic, the new flu. The blue flu? Are all my cops gonna go on strike? Don't tell me that. Homeless man wins $23 million lottery. Cool. Actually, the lottery is a bit of a curse for anyone who wins it. He's already homeless. We know why people end up homeless. That might not work out in the long run. Tomorrow's papers, you know, homeless man dies, having spent all of his money on things that killed him. Sad. My father got drunk and beat my mother again. This time it looks pretty bad. I'd like to go to them. Can I have the day off? You are, like, this kid is supposed to be, like, studying. Supposed to be helping us with, not helping us, we're supposed to be like training him for the city. You want a day off because your drunk father beat your mother. I mean, yes, you can. Schmeling, go deal with that. I didn't expect your help in the first place, but, you know, your family just stole an opportunity from you to learn how to be a detective. Man, it's just a dark turn here. As soon as I start talking about Jesus, everything goes to shit. One is Scott Evil, just not evil enough. Evil light. Robbery port warehouse. I've got the hairline for Scott Evil in the later. An alarm has gone off in one of the port warehouses. The guard assigned to the site is not responding, but the storekeeper says there is nothing unusual. Apparently the guard is an old man who regularly drinks and even sleeps there in the warehouse. The room where the alarm went off stores frozen fish. So why would anyone rob frozen fish? I can send the SWAT if I want to, but it certainly doesn't look like that kind of thing. Oh, if only, whatever his name is was on, the guy who we're trying to get killed today. Because this looks like one of those scenarios the game throws you where it's obviously not going to be a big deal, and then you get there and someone's dead. Gilbert, go have a look. Who would be stealing fish? Not sending the SWAT out. We can now hire a new detective because one of them has indeed died. The best of the bunch is Nick Hunter. We have Anna Sandstrom and Kathy Johnson also available. None of you are great, but I do need detectives on shift right now. Nick Hunter, I can probably bring you up in a hurry. I just don't know which shift to put you on. So how are we looking? We've got 4 active detectives on shift A right now. This guy is volunteer, so we've got 3 over here. 2 plus 1 is what we're going to call that over here. You need to go on to shift B. Mr. Hunter. Hunter? Wait, are you two married? We've got another Hunter. We've got Officer Hunter and Detective Hunter. The Hunters, Texas Rangers. City Hall, I can now ask for things again. I think we're going to do very well in terms of making the city happy on having a bunch of Asian officers here tomorrow, August 5th, because they're having some Japanese business people in and they want to show off how many Asians they have protecting the city, apparently. We're going to make them happy there, so I'm going to request, I don't know, everything I can. That request will take a day to come in, or two, I believe, so it might just work out. Hire Asian cops from City Hall. Businessman is coming tomorrow. We hope everything is ready. It is. I've got all my Asian officers assigned to Shift B, and that's the shift that will be up. So, what do you want from me, Sans? I gotta make sure that Sans wins the day, or at least they break even here. Some of Vargas's men, armed with flamethrowers, damn you, Elon Musk, burned down a city parkway named in Sans' honor. This is definitely a job for the police, and indeed it is. Who's my I don't have any representatives on shift. McCoy, you're a drunk. Get out there and help. Okay, so we helped Sans. We gotta get off of Vargas for a minute. Sans has to get up to being tied again. Son of a biscuit, this is hard to manage. How'd we do on the robbery? False alarm, triggered by a flock of birds, guard was drunk and in the company of a prostitute. Okay, good. Oh, really? What did you see? Bring me pictures! Vicus Varga needs some help, and I don't want to send it. We figured out which lawyer Sand was using for a real estate deal. Mr. Vargas said that this guy probably knows a thing or two about Sand's business. So we went to his office to have a word with him. The local security guards got a little upset about being flipped and put into the defensive position. So could you send someone over to calm them down? Nope. Can't do. Not helping you out, Vargas. I gotta help Sans today. It's very important. Why is there a SWAT option? That is worrying, says Hologram. Wasn't it? That's why I was concerned. Oh, good, another rape in the ghetto. An elderly man, taking a nighttime walk with his dog, was raped violently by a young, pretty woman. He has no complaints. Spotted a man and a woman entering a dark alley. He then heard the woman cry out, "Help, he's trying to rape me." Okay, that's about as clear-cut as it gets. Powers, Samadhi, take out Underwood and Gilbert. And we will see if we can't get someone named Sullivan in here shortly to pair with you. Vargas, you're not getting any help from me. McCoy is back from helping out Sans, so that's good. Yeah. I think I'm doing all right. I hope I'm doing all right. Another thing about Jesus. That's enough, Paul. Robbery at the drugstore. An unknown person or persons under cover of night broke into a pharmacy through a window and stole some expensive drugs. The money in the cash register was untouched. Well, I am light in the lay affairs when it comes to detectives who I can assign to any of this stuff right now. So give me a minute, would you? We have a carjacking in the suburb, and I'll figure that out in a moment. I'm going to have to move some people around. An elderly woman who was shutting her windows for the night noticed two teenagers across the street break the window of a car and get inside. That's pretty straightforward. McCoy, you know something about drunk driving. And Vandal. Doesn't seem like a big deal. It's teenagers, joyriding, breaking in. Don't need my best on the case. Sorry, Vargas. So, head over to investigations. Okay. Rape in the ghetto. Oh, God. A wounded man is lying unconscious beside a woman in a torn dress. The woman in a state of shock and is hiding something behind her back. So she killed him. Good. Well, she took him down. Let's settle down and have a coffee around the corner. Do not worry, you're not in any trouble. We have a witness. Yeah. Yeah, tell her that. Offender escaped. Officers unharmed and a civilian killed. So the woman... What are we to presume from that? At least none of the officers died, because I only want one of my officers getting killed. The woman shouted, "Oh my God, he's trying to rape me," then killed again. She was cut up. If he's on the ground... He's on the ground, she's got cuts all over her, she yelled rape. A man called, very clean-cut scenario. Offender escaped. If the offender is the man, how did he get up and run away? Okay. If the offender is the woman, and how did she get away? The civilian killed. Why would the woman be covered in... This is weird. Crispy Critter just subscribed. Where's Officer Alex Murphy when you need him? He's getting Robocopped, baby. He's getting new firmware installed. I cannot make heads or nor tails of what this situation is insinuating. Thank you for the subscription. Here are some pawn points for you. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by this conundrum that I have here. The woman was attacking the man tried to defend himself, cut her all to pieces. She yelled rape. It was her plan from the beginning. Maybe she's going after, like, a ex-boyfriend or something like that, and something... It was her plan, I'll yell rape, and then they'll think it was... I don't get this. I don't get this at all. 4 officers on the scene, 1 woman with some stuff behind her back. She got away, or her offender got away, or... I mean, are you telling me that that she was the civilian and she got killed? What the hell? You're not helping me at all with the request that I just sent to the city, I'll tell you that. I sent a good team to Powers was there. So they're saying that I made the wrong choice. She had something behind her back. It was just cut up. It was like obvious. She was I don't get it. This is a case for Cole Phelps. Detroit Noir. Quite the puzzler, says Crispy Critter. Yeah. Does anyone make any sense of this? I don't make any sense of it. I think the game just decided to roll me bad because I've been doing too well. That would be my guess. I need to figure this out. Today is Shift A. Shift A, hang on, I gotta go to the police department and see. Shift A has Moser, Luckett, Johnson, Schmeling, so it's all of not them. Moser, Luckett, Johnson. Investigations, that's those guys, right? Wait. Detectives? Moser, Lockett, Schmeling. Yeah, so I need to remove someone from this case so that they can start the case on the other thing. Beasley, you're OP. You don't need this. You don't need to be around to help it anymore. I think we're wrapping up on whatever it is that I hope we're wrapping up. I'm taking you off the case so that I can free you up. Oh, but Beasley's at home today. It's showing me that Beasley's at home today. Get back in there, Beasley. I need Moser, then, because Moser's in. Moser, you gotta come off the case so that you can start this other case right now. Okay. Yeah, so that's an easier way than doing all the mental math. You could just look at who's on. Moser, start up investigation on the robbery at the drugstore. Jesus. I just requested a bunch of stuff from the city and then a civilian gets killed for no particular reason. Today, Freeburg will host a concert by pop singer Gennaro Crespo. We promised the concert organizers that we'd help with security. Please send your best people. Can you wait 15 seconds? Because I don't have... And I can't... There's no one else in. Like, they'll be back in a second. And I'm pissing off City Hall again. Fucking game, man! God, there's no way for me, there's nothing I can do. I can't just say, give me a minute, escape? It's still, no, I just pissed off the city. Damn it! Carjacking report. At least we caught that one and we could stop the teens, I guess. Son of a bitch! Things are suddenly going bad. They've been going so well, I thought I'd ask for everything. Now I'm not gonna get any of it. I pissed the city off by not sending those things in, and then... Oh. Sands needs help. Good, I need to help the Sands. An engagement party turned into a bomb crisis when our guests discovered a powerful explosive right under the banquet table. Our experts already defused it, but it would be nice if the police reassured our frightened guests and confirmed that the situation is under control. Indeed. We will do that thing. Samadhi. Get out there and let everybody know that all is at peace. There's no need for desiring your lives. Need not want anything. Our investigation of the robbery at the pharmacy has begun. James Duff, pharmacist, tells us that the night before last, everything was fine when I left. I just closed up the pharmacy like usual and went home. I certainly wasn't involved in this theft. It was a little past 9. At exactly 9:30, I was at the bus stop. That I'm sure of. In the morning, I went to work like usual. As soon as I saw the broken window, I called the police. I was not responsible, says Mr. Duff. Smeed Roby, a homeless man, however, says, yes, I hang around at night near the pharmacy, but I don't remember much. For reasons I won't go into. One guy said to drink for my health and threw a $50 bill in my hat. I had a little celebration. After that, I ran right to the store, but that's all I remember. I woke up this morning and the cops were all over. I can't remember the man's face. I was more interested in the $50. All I can recall is the light struck something under his jacket. Something like a doctor's clothes, Mr. Duffy. Man who threw you $50 certainly has a lot of money in his pockets. Sort of man who maybe just robbed a pharmacy for all the cash and drugs and whatnot. Did they take the drugs? I really don't know. Pawnee, says a guy called Pie. We have a proposal. Pawn, we have a job for you. Want to get Pawn killed or what? Says Caboodle. What? Trump has to die. You only get killed if you do it wrong. What? What do you want me to do? Trump just has a kind of face that something and there was a bullet involved. I just went off my screen. When will someone finally... Trump, this is taking way too effing long. Pawn, we have a job for... I don't... It's too much subtext. I can't read between your lines. I'm not sure what you're saying. Some of your chat people are encouraging insemination. Might not be a great thing to have on the stream, says Crispy Critter. I mean... You guys don't live in this country, right? Don't think that there's any laws that can be enforced against those who are saying that from not being in this country. You know, active political discourse needs to be going on. The fact that this is, you know, that this is where people stand, like, it's just the mind, you know. Are we going to have thought crimes now? Is this an Orwellian future? Everyone knows they're joking, mostly. Carrie Duff, pharmacist's wife, says James came home a couple hours later than regular. Mr. Duff says he left at precisely 9 and was at the bus stop at exactly 9:30. His wife says he came home a couple hours later than regular. I found some lipstick on his collar and his crotch smelled of electromechanics. There was a thermo device and there was Peltier. But that's not so unusual. The insurance refused to pay for the treatment he needs, so now we're always short on money. Mrs. Duff, you know you don't have to talk to us. You are protected under the... a wife doesn't have to talk about her husband and vice versa. Keep talking, though. He's always trying to find part-time work, not that anything ever pans out. He's willing to take on even the most difficult and dangerous work, including things like robberies. Yesterday, for example, when he changed his clothes, stones and debris fell out. I'm starting to really worry about the hellish jobs he's getting himself into. Stones and debris. Yes. Rocks and things. Maybe he fell when he was running. Maybe he fell into... What has Mr. Duff been getting up to? Slavenko Mavzer, the pharmacy owner, says those damn bums are always begging near my pharmacy are up to no good. Obviously, one of them thought he'd be daring and take me for all I'm worth. Look at that guy. He's barely keeping on his feet. Where did he get the money for all that alcohol? I've never seen anyone even throw him a dime. Certainly not a 50. Oh, Mr. Duff. Thanks for coming in early today. That's a nice new watch you're wearing. Mrs. Ding says, the medicine they stole is Depreza caps. It's very expensive, but there's not a lot of street interest. So I doubt it will sell on the black market. I don't think it was stolen for resale. Mr. Duff, who needs medication, and the insurance won't cover it and is needing money, and then the money at the place that he works goes missing, along with drugs that perhaps relate to his disease. Fuck, I'm stumped. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. This one's gonna be one of those, you know, she was actually the victim, or no, she was the culprit and he was the victim, and somehow she escaped 4 police officers. It's just crazy. I don't know how to make... How can I possibly... Assault at the vegetable shop. At the vegetable shop, then? At a vegetable shop? Have you got vegetable shops where you live? We only sell vegetables. No meats or breads or dairy products, just the vegetables. A puppy? Right out! No puppies. Phone cards? No, none of that. It's a vegetable shop. Not pomegranates, those are fruit. Get out! 2 women and a man were seen attacking a black couple at the vegetable shop, smacking them around with their pickles. Boots, no less. A local shopkeeper warned that he was calling the police, at which time the man ran away, but the 2 women continued the strange assault. So, what? 2 women and a man were seen attacking a black couple, and the man ran away, and the 2 women continued their assault with their boots at the vegetable shop. Just keeps getting weirder. Just keeps getting... Gilbert, get out there and get some XP. Alright, Powers. I don't need you there. Alright, Austin and Powers. And Gilbert. Go out and deal with the two women beating a man with their boots at the vegetable shop. If you need a weapon, you could always use a banana. No bananas! It's a fruit! There's a Monty Python sketch about there, isn't there? Assault with fruit. They teach you how to defend yourself with fruit exclusively. Because Varga needs help. I'm not allowed to help you, Varga. Although I have helped Sans twice today, I could probably get away with helping Vargas once. 4 of our guys were supposed to meet with an associate of Mr. Vargas on the beach. They were carrying a couple of bags of money and headed towards the river. That's the last we ever heard from them. I've just read that sentence aloud and did not process any of it. It happens to me quite often. I try to cover it up usually. I just need to read that again. 4 of our guys were supposed to meet with a vegetable shop owner of Mr. Vargas's on the beach. They were carrying a couple bags of money and headed towards the river. That's the last we ever heard from them. And we've been stood around waiting all day. The police might want to check if Sand ambushed them and dumped their bodies in the water. I've given 2 to Sands today. This would be my first to Vargas. That should even things out. And it's just a natural, normal sort of investigation that should take place anyway. Underwood, go out with Vandal, and have a look-see into whether or not there's a floating man in a river somewhere. Yes. How did we do on the assault report at the vegetable shop? Oh, good. They had plenty of pomegranate. No, that's not. Why can't I? The carrots. We stabbed the offender in the eyeball. We handled it. No problem. Is there something else that I need to be doing today with the investigations and moving? I think I'm managing the game all too well. I have nothing to do while we're waiting for incidents. What happened with the armed robbery? We've got more frames in, and none of my investigators are newly dead. So that's, oh, we've got our first round of frames. This isn't helping. So this is the jewelry thing. The to recall the motorcycle, there were, I think, 3 of them. One of them drove straight at the van swerved, tipped over, an injured security guard rolled out and opened fire on them, and then they returned fire and he's dead. And they got away with the jewels. This is part of our investigation of a gang that we've got. So, I've got 2 different images, and I'm having trouble seeing the difference between them. Okay, now it's behind your head, Pawn. That's not helping anyone. So, these 2, the differences between them. There's a man in a mohawk riding a motorcycle at a van head-on. And in this one, there's a man in a mohawk riding a motorcycle at a van head-on. The lights seem to both be in the same position. Where's Waldo in the scene? Oh, camouflage! Yes, the motorcycles had camouflage on them. Sure, okay, so that's the difference. That's camouflage and that's just brown on the gas tank. The van gets pushed off of the road, it jumps the median and... No! This guy jumped the median. The van didn't jump the median, it went off the road, right? The witnesses. The first biker jumped the median, went straight for the van, head-on. Van tried to avoid a collision, went off the road and overturned. So this didn't happen either. Unless that's not a median. Is that just the road? I'm having trouble now. No, okay, I was seeing that as a wall obscuring the back of the tire, but maybe it's just the way that the tires are drawn rather polygonally. Maybe this is just the road and it's showing it going off. Doesn't really matter, we need more pictures, obviously, but I'm going to put those 2 up there. As to show that the fella drove directly at it, wearing the camouflage, and then this guy drives off of the road. Odd that he swerves into traffic. I'm not sure how to read that picture. That has been the case with most of this, in fact. Robbery report. Alright, we've started the robbery on the completely... I don't know what's going on in this one. This one's a mystery. The pharmacist? Who possibly robbed him? Probably the homeless man. Maybe it's the owner. A banana is a herb, damn it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's like if the universe is like a big marble track and that, since the Big Bang until this point, choice has really never been part of the process since we are all reacting on the previous action. Then, the ones that triggered the Big Bang, really, have weird tastes since Trump is where he is now. Philosophy is a talk on a cereal box. Religion is a smile on a dog. I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So the sequence of events shows what? We know what happened. This fellow robbed the place. Do I even need to put these together? Trying to figure out what these frames are supposed to mean. Ugh. So, the end of the day, pharmacist goes around robbing the place of its pills. Yes. Was there even a broken window? Right before that, I'm sure in the morning, as soon as I saw the broken window, I called the police. That looks like, is that the homeless man? The pharmacist wearing a coat, and the coat was obscuring his things. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, I remember the story now. By the time he gave the stuff to the homeless man describes him having a doctor's stuff underneath his coat, and so he's wearing a green coat in this shot, but it's still the pharmacist. Pharmacist did not give him change. He gave him a $50 bill, so that is useless to me. The pharmacist throwing a brick through the window would make sense. So the two of you up there, I don't know in what position I'm going to leave you like that. We need more frames, people. More frames! I don't think I've got any detectives available, do I? No, I've got an immense number of cases out, and one of my volunteers, I'm training to be a detective, decided to go home today for the paltry and insignificant reason that his drunk father beat his mother. So I said, yes, you can indeed do that. Please, please do that. End of the workday. Yes! Thank God they came out even. They came out even. I'm not going to die right here, right now. I think we've got at least one more day's worth of this game in us before I call at the end of the live stream. We're doing well. It's fun as hell. I get a chance to talk about Jesus every now and then. You guys get to talk about Trump and justice versus murder and things like that. I mean, it depends on your narrowness of your vision. Again, it's like the sorts of things that our official governments get up to, both in this country, or both in the nations where, you know, they control things, and outside, are pretty horrendous, you know? Our governments murder foreign leaders, and have been found, like, proof, evidence, CIA files and stuff like that. This stuff happens, and it's like, ah, yes, but they were doing it for the greater good. And then you get someone in office, like, I don't know, a Hitler or a Trump. And you know, there's going to be like this backlash against people talking about, do you think that he needs to go? You think someone needs to... I mean, the fact that there's a conversation being had is enough, right? That tells you something about what's going on in the country and in the world today, right? Doesn't it? Didn't hear this kind of talk coming from people during the Clinton administration, during the, honestly, the Reagan administration, during the George W. Bush administration, there was an attempt on his life from a foreign government. So, you know, that happens. During the George W. Bush administration, there was a lot of talk about that, because Americans' rights were being squeezed off and squeezed off and squeezed off and squeezed off in the name of preventing terrorism, and it didn't work. It wasn't useful. It was just fear and terrorism and people pushing their agendas and using a horrible event where thousands of people died that affected everyone's life on the face of the fucking planet as a political hay in order to move legislation that they wanted in that helped them, either helped their political mindset or helped their, you know, friends in industry and corporate capitalism and stuff like that. So yeah, we were talking this way in the George W. Bush years for a reason. And here we are talking about it in the Trump years for a reason. I think the fact that we're talking about it is a good sign, you know? Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully the fact that we're talking about it, the fact that that mental energy is out there is enough to actually, you know, tone things down. And if the fact that we're talking about it doesn't tone things down and things just keep getting worse, somebody, somewhere, is going to turn talk into action. Because that's karma, and that's how life works. And don't blame the people who were talking about it, because the talking was a warning. The talking was, you know, 5-minute call, end of game, pull your shit together now. And if nothing changes, someone somewhere is going to do something. Don't blame the people who were talking about it. Tier 5, actually I'm surprised that no organization or government has attempted to assassinate Trump, then again, we wouldn't exactly know, would we? Like, maybe the Germans have been discussing it for years, as a guy called Pie. I don't know. You know, we have a man in office who doesn't care about anyone but himself. And the role that he's taken and that he's been elected to by an electorate, my God, how did that happen? Is to care for exactly everyone between, you know, every single person who's inside this country, citizen or not. He has to, you know, have all of their things, and that's what the job of the president is. And we've got this guy, and he's a racist, bigot. I always have trouble reaching for He's a woman hater. I mean, not a woman hater, he's just demeaning toward women. A misogynist. Misogynist, racist, bigot, pro-big business, governments, pro-big business, pro-corporation, rather, not necessarily governments. Pro-big business, pro-corporation, you know, if your problems involve you making less than $100,000 a year, it's your fault. It's your fault. Pull up your bootstraps and do the kinds of bad and horrible and awful things that I've done in order to make my wealth. That's the kind of people that Trump respects. I don't think Trump even respects the people in his wheelhouse in terms of, like, rich corporate people who have, you know, worked hard and achieved what they've achieved through something that could be called hard work and not just being evil pricks. I think Trump reserves his respect for people who have gotten what they've gotten through the means that he's gotten, which is selling out your morality, or, you know, just not having any from the beginning. But I believe making really hard choices is what he would call them, and what the rest of the world would call them as bad, amoral, unethical, satanic choices in order to get where you're going, in order to achieve what you want to achieve. He respects people who decided early in their lives that they wanted to be millionaires and they didn't care how they had to get there. That's who he respects. Everyone else, no matter who you are, color of your skin, you know, color of your skin will lower you. The style of genitals you have will lower you even further, but I firmly believe that if you want to be in Trump's love list, you gotta start from being a scumbag who made it work. That's my opinion on the man who runs the country that I live in. Trump is a nuisance to America's closest allies, so the European powers would have a lot to gain from Trump being put to an end. Yeah, where's the Mossad when you need him? You know? We wouldn't gain poop if we killed Trump. The diplomatic consequences would be massive, says Cavoodle. Are you speaking from, like, another nation taking him out? Well, you just have to make it look like an American took him out. Easy to do. In fact, you just have to do what the CIA does and manipulate someone who's already on the edge. You know, one of these young, hot-headed people. You do what terrorists and the CIA do. They're kind of in the same business, first off, you know. You find someone who doesn't have a lot left to live for, who's young and full of, you know, rage in their blood and doesn't have a lot of opportunities to them, who's already making a lot of noise, and you take them quietly aside, and you say, we can help you with that, and you're doing the right thing, and you should do that, and you reinforce it until they're ready to do it, and then you give them the means, and then nobody ever knows that you were involved. It's simple. Real easy to do. Check it out. We've done it so many times. Our CIA has done it so many times. Trump put a drug baron in charge of the opioid crisis. That says a lot, yeah. Yeah, he put someone in charge of our schools whose big thing a number of years ago was, we need to get rid of this public schooling situation, make it all private. Let's face it, the EU is the US's equal at the least. Also, when it comes to intelligence, if and or when the Americans theoretically were to find out that a European government had their president killed, I think it would just be covered up. Yeah, there wouldn't be a diplomatic drama. That would hurt everyone way too much, and the CIA probably wants him gone anyway. Yeah, you're not, actually, you know, that's pretty logical conclusion. CIA prefers stability at home, and instability abroad, and then stability abroad that they can control. So, yeah, this is not a stable environment. The Mossad are in their capital, Jerusalem, says Dendi. Where are the Mossad when you need... If the CIA wants him dead, why don't they do it, says Cavoodle. Well, they certainly could. And maybe they will. You know? Maybe he's useful to them. Maybe he's not. I don't know. The CIA is an organization that I have recently just asked someone. I was saying to someone, can you think of anything that the CIA did that was, like, good? And I know that's up for, like, debate. Like, the CIA does nasty, dirty, underhanded things, and then those nasty, dirty, underhanded things sometimes result in what some people would say were good. But what I'm saying is, can you think of any known instance in which the CIA did something that puts them clearly on the good guys versus bad guys side, where the good guys did, you know, even a hard thing, you know, killing somebody, assassinating somebody who needed to be assassinated, but it was clearly a bad dude, you know? Can you think of anything that you've ever heard of, any tale where the CIA, because we've heard a lot of things have come out about the CIA, there's so many confirmed operations in our past where the CIA, you know, funded and overthrew a democratic government and put someone in and basically changed a democratic nation into a dictatorship because the dictator was able to create stability in the region, and then we were able to get the resources, oil or otherwise, out of the area. It's South America and the Middle East, all over the place. We got these stories where it's like known it happened, and you look at those situations, and whether you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing, you have to say the CIA did something really scummy and horrible and bad there. They, you know, stole democracy from a nation. They undermined the will of a population of people in order to benefit, you know, whoever they thought they were benefiting, us at home. So, you know, enslave a population so that we can have more conveniences or something like that. If you think that's a good thing, you still have to say they did a bad thing to get a good thing. Does anyone know an instance where the CIA did a generically, like, you know, you can look at it and say, that was a good thing, that needed to be done, and it resulted in a good thing? Is the CIA just not in that business? That's not what they do. You'd think we'd have heard about them, heard about one, as many times as we've heard about all of the horrible, nasty, awful things that they do in order to achieve whatever their goals are. I don't know. The only reason Europe doesn't hardball the US is because we have higher standards than they do. We don't sink to their level usually, okay? They may not actively want him dead, but if someone else does it for them, they would not even be mad, says a guy called possibly. Everyone in Europe hates Trump. I have a feeling a majority of America hates Trump, even the people that elected him. I should really hope so. I really hope so, because if there are still people, like, watching this and going, yeah, that's our boy, then I need a bus ticket. A bus that floats. Bus that crosses oceans. I need to get the hell out of here. Canada is just a little... I'm 7 miles from the border. Honestly, I'm very surprised the CIA isn't doing more in their own country, says a guy called Pie. Well, technically they're not allowed to do things but they do. But they're not supposed to. They're probably doing something, but clearly not enough, says a guy called Pie. The FBI is, you know, the homegrown CIA, but the FBI, you know, has a history of doing good things, of doing their job. The CIA, I can't think of a single instance in which the CIA did something that was, like, clean. You'd think once, right? Once? You would think that if you had done one, and you're the CIA, and you've got all this negative press, and everybody only knows you for, like, you know, installing dictators and effing over other nations in order to make American middle-class people more comfortable, secure our, you know, whatever, secure our finances, our markets. For all those stories, if you had one instance in which you had done something that was good and resulted in something good, that you would, like, intentionally drop those documents while you were walking to the car, you know? Let it come out. The CIA occasionally does some good things using good methods. Just a little bit of... I guess they just feel so insulated that no one will ever say, hey, maybe we should just not have a CIA. Maybe the reason we have terrorism in this country, you know, why we have so much terrorism landing on our shores, is because the CIA keeps undermining the foreign governments and the democracies and the will of other people in other nations, and they have no other recourse. Maybe the CIA is bad for America. Look at the track record. It's all about certain that he won't be elected ever again. Oh, God. A guy called Pie, I'd love to believe that. I would love to believe that. But electioneering, rigging... Hopefully he just doesn't even want the job. You know, he hasn't been happy in it, is what I've heard. It certainly doesn't suit him. You know, he's in a role where he's supposed to care about people, and that's not his thing. Welcome to Shift B. This is the day. All of our Asians are on hand, right? Because we have all our Asians gathered. Kubota, we've got Kochi, we've got Asano, and we've got Tsubaki. They only said I needed 3. I have 4. I didn't do well yesterday. The game threw me some curveballs. I did not make City Hall happy. This should make them happy. Okay, hire Asian cops. I never had to hire them, I just had to have them there. Jack, keep up the good work, and we'll make sure your final days at Freeburg PD are much more comfortable. I made them happy again. Yay! Hopefully that at least evens out the damage that I did yesterday, because I asked City Hall for a lot of things. Request result. I got my raise! I got my raise! 10% more per week, we're making $1,500 a week. I got a job slot for an officer, I can hire 1 more police officer, yes! I don't want to do it. Holy crap, Bertram Prado. RoboCop just showed up. Okay, $850. That seems like a trap, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem like a trap? 850 professionalism? Wait a second. Wait a second, people. If I have really there's hair in my coffee. If I have really professional officers and I'm playing both sides of a mob war, is that going to be an IA problem? Internal Affairs? Is this going to be like the guy that flips if I hire Bertram Prado? That just seems insane. You know, the next best person I have on Shift B right now is Kochi at 365. He's 850. And I can hire him or, you know, Jim Kendall, 170. Are you kidding me? This seems like a trap. I got a trap. Yes. I was planning to study in America, but then Trump got elected, so I was like, yeah, F that. Good call. Why are there no names? I can't, yeah. Risk it for a chocolate biscuit, says Hologram 1. Only if the bowls touch. Take the plunge. You want me to hire Bertram Prado? I mean, I love his bags. They're so chic. They're not, actually. I don't think I've ever had a Prada bag in my hand, but, I have had a number of fakes. Copycats. I don't get it. I've had a number of fakes from different companies and known that they were fakes. Some guy wanted to sell a bunch of stuff on eBay, and he'd go out and buy stuff, and then he had me listing them on eBay. It was a stupid thing that I shouldn't have even bothered with. Too much time, not enough money. But one of those things was he bought a bunch of bags that he recognized the brand on and said, oh, this has got to be worth something. I got it in, and started looking through these bags, and yeah, sure enough, like the wood burning, or it's leather burning, but the leather burning inscription that they've stitched in, it all looks good until you read it, and then it's misspelled, and it's out of place, and the lining doesn't have the right stuff on it for it to be an actual Prada, or it to be an actual Gucci, or whatever, and that sort of stuff. And the problem is, kids, in case you ever come upon, you know, fake materials like that, you're not allowed to sell them. You know, if you buy them for $5 from somewhere and you want to sell them, you're not allowed to sell them. Even if you disclose this is a fake Prada bag, you're not allowed to sell it because it's a fake Prada bag. It's illegal to sell a fake Prada bag. It's illegal for someone to make it and sell it, so if you come upon it secondhand, it's still illegal. So we had all these bags that I knew were fake that we couldn't do anything with. Do it! Hire him! Do it! You want it? Really? Everybody wants me to hire the Prada man? Alright. We're gonna hire... I don't know what shift he's even going to. Well, yes I do, because we've got a ton of people on Shift B, and we're light on Shift A. So, from the labor market, Bertram Prado, welcome to Shift A. It's gonna totally screw me over. And apparently, I'm guessing I got another detective slot. We got the detective slot. Oh, I made them so happy by having Asians on the force. They gave me everything I wanted. I don't want you, Anna Sandstrom. Can we get a better detective in? Ugh. I need detectives right now. We are desperate for detectives. This game went from I don't have enough cops to I don't have enough detectives. Hunter, Mole, Beasley, Johnson, Luckett, Moser. I think I'm going to put her on this side of things. It's a little bit stronger. I mean, not if you consider Beasley, but in terms of the lowest, the weakest man on the totem pole there. I'm going to move Moser or Hunter to Shift A, Okay, I'm sorry to split up the hunter pack. Now we can have a hunter on both shifts anyway. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put the new person onto shift B. Okay? Anna Sandstrom, welcome to shift B. And apparently I've got yet another slot for detectives. I've got 2 more slots for detectives? When did that happen? I don't want to hire these crappy people. And then be stuck with them. They'll get better over time. They get better in a damn hurry, too. Like, both of these people crack one case and they'll go up to 150 and they'll be somewhat professional, but... I don't want to drag you, Kathy Johnson. I'm going to wait to see if new people come in later. Request result. We got the SWAT upgrade as well. Okay. Jesus. God, I'm doing great. Why am I still awake? This is why there are no names. Because Pawn promised he'd only play one more day before we can go to sleep. That's true. Last day right here, right now. So do we want to increase our efficiency by 50 or let them work 3 times a day? I've been getting away pretty well with only having them working two times a day. I'm sure the game will make that, you know, it'll be harder soon, but I think we'll have, you know, I want to balance this. I want power at least increased by 50%, and then maybe I'll just focus on endurance from then on out if I get any further SWAT upgrades. But right now, I do want you guys to be better at it. Less calls for backup, maybe, when I send them on stuff. Vikas Varga wants some help. After yesterday's big battle with Sand, we had a few corpses on hand that we needed to get rid of. We figured we'd throw them in the river from a boat, but we drew a crowd of onlookers, folks with binoculars on the beach. We don't know if they were Sands operatives or just passers-by, but either way, they need to be gotten rid of. So you want me to scare people off the beach so you can dump some bodies? Percy, I got a job for you. I want Vargas to win this day. Okay, he can't win 3 in a row, but I think he's won 3 already. I want to keep like back and forthing on that. I don't know how it works. Someone needs to look it up. Does he need to win by 3 on the last day? That seems like silly, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You just have to like, maybe you have to give him 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then, oh god, it's just all about the timing. I don't understand whether this game wants me to make sure that Vargas wins by 3 on the last day exclusively, which would mean that I have to, you know, let him win the last 3 days in a row, which is just all about timing and juggling it until you get there, or if the game means that I have to have Vargas win 3 ticks throughout the days. And I think it's the one where it's all about timing, but it just seems like, wow, what a crunch to put on someone. You juggle it all, and then those last 3 days you can completely screw up just by not paying attention. Or accidentally get yourself killed if you do it too early. It seems really not fair. Chinatown Dormitory, we've got some destruction of some property. A student reported seeing a truck drive into the yard at the hostel. A fat man climbed out and began to slice up a bench with a chainsaw. Some other students tried to intervene, but the man threatened them with the chainsaw, saying, "I asked you nicely to keep quiet at night. Now you can park your yellow asses someplace else." Well, I think it's time for our Asian crack team to head out. Kubota, Asano, Tsubaki, and Kochi. Head on out and have them deal with the dirty yellow police force, eh? Cheer 100, when you tip the scales in one direction, there is an assassination story that plays, says Dramasian. If I tip it too far, right? I know that I will get killed if I tip it too far, but I'm pretty sure the game was explicit about don't let either of the sides win 3 days in a row. Right? Don't let either of the sides... Ooh, they sold the Julie for 12 grand! That was a good call. That was a good... Oh, I hate to share it with the staff. It'll keep them happy. It'll make them dirty. It'll keep them on my side because they'll be dirty. I'm trying to get 500 grand here. We're on day 22 of 180 days. At this rate, I could do it. As long as IA doesn't show up and quarter my income again. Oh, I'd like to keep all of that. I'm taking all of it. I'm taking all of that one. I shared it with them last time. Wrong type of struggle. I like people watching people struggle. What? What? Don't cause me to struggle. The situation is more serious than we thought. Requesting reinforcements. I don't have any more Asian people! I don't know what to do! If it's more serious than we thought, let's send in Millsap. And Purdy, I need you around for handling the mob. Smith is babyface. We don't send him out to anything too dirty. Hunter, Texas, let's send out Roy. Roy and Millsap. Go ahead and help him out. Assault with a deadly weapon. Wait, is that a new thing? Assault with a deadly weapon at Johnson, Jurgen, and Katz law firm. Dr. Katz was a great show, wasn't it? Didn't you love that? Was that the precursor to home movies? I think it was. That's just John Benjamin. John Benjamin. Love him. Love his work. Beautiful voice. John Benjamin does an awesome voice. He's got a very, it's weird because it's very low, but it's also like there's these screeching, it's very high. It gets very high when it wants. Brendan, it sounds like his voice is gonna break at any given time. Even though it's very low and there's, that Jew thing in the background, which I love. It's a chutzpah whenever you hear him. I don't know what those words mean. Officers assault with a deadly weapon. A call has come in from the Secretary of the Law Offices of Johnson, Hurrigan, and Katz. She reports that a woman wearing an expensive fur coat and high heels entered the offices of the senior partners of the firm and asked the Secretary not to disturb them. Shortly thereafter, shots rang out from the office. Well, somebody's having a little fun on the company dime, if you know. Hunter, get in there. Bring Godbummer with you, and Babyface Smith. It's in there, too. Yes. What else can I do at the police station? You can hire more detectives. Right, they all suck. Alright. I don't need to click on that the rest of the day. Lovely. It's just 1 p.m. The sun is shining on my fair city. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a lovely day. My city's under 9,000 inches of snow right now. We caught the offender with the chainsaw using the Asian something squad. Something that's racist and funny, but not racist and over the top. Yeah. The I'm not gonna touch that squad. And Roy and the black girl. See? Racist, but not too. Some punks ransacked the house of a family member. It seems like they were looking for something. Something other than money. Maybe a notebook with a list of important contacts. Let's lock up these scumbags before they do any real damage. Didn't I say I want Vargas to win today, right? I just broke the series. They were even at the end of the last day, weren't they? Or weren't they? What am I doing? Let's have them be even today. What was I saying? I can't keep my head straight. Percy, I got a job for you. And Purdy, because we're helping Sans. So Purdy and Percy can go out there. I hate sending Percy anywhere. Down to one officer. Everyone's on their way back from the big thing. Send Percy, maybe he'll get killed, Sister Macy. And I did. There's never any consequences to these things, as far as I know. You just send them out there and they come back. I've never seen it turn into anything. The office door is closed, but inside the sounds of men screaming, gunshots, and breaking glass can be heard. This is the woman who walked in and said, "Don't disturb us." Swipe the secretary's keys, knock on the door, or shoot the lock. Okay. There's gunshots on the inside right now. They're shooting, we're shooting. Shoot the lock. A bald man in a suit is laying in a pool of blood. A woman in a fur coat is standing on the table, taking aim at two other men who are hiding behind an overturned bookcase. Okay. Drop your weapon right now, pounce on the woman, shoot the table leg. Looks like she's gonna fall out the window if I shoot the table leg. Shoot the table leg! Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed, except for the dead guy, right? Except for the bald guy that was bleeding out on the floor that's dead now. Other than him, though, no civilians harmed. We did that 80s style, you know? Blow the lock off the door, and then... If they're shooting, you're shooting, okay? Simple rules around policing, right? If you walk up to something, there's shots fired, you're shooting. Alright? Doesn't mean you necessarily take him down, but read the situation, you know? Start firing. Fuck yeah, Pawns, is a guy called by. Yeah! Boom, boom! She falls over, and you jump on her and say something about a bald guy and her, and you're going to, and some, I don't know. I'm not good at one-liners. I am good at one-liners. Not good at improv. I am good at improv. Why can't I do both? I don't know. You are doing both right now. Oh, I am? Yes. And you're wonderful at it. Oh my god. How many people are watching? Not many. Shit. Dear Mr. Boyd, the TV show I produced, Justice for All, suffered a terrible drop in ratings last month. Shame that. Our polls suggest that our viewers stopped finding the shows believable. We are currently shooting the next season. They're shooting! Open fire! And for one episode, we need a real cop who will portray a cop pervert who is kidnapping... Percy! Who is kidnapping young girls and raping them in his car. We don't have a huge budget, but I think that we can afford a couple of $1,000 for you, and the cop who will play part in the show, and plus everyone in the city will see him in the show. Percy, get back here. Percy, get back here. You look like a cop pervert. Okay, I gotta get Percy back here, and then I'm sending Percy on that. Maybe they'll decide to turn him into like a regular, and then he's off my hands. Percy, get back here, quickly! 25 seconds. Bomb threat, Bank of Freeburg. I gotta get rid of this guy. A call just... He's got friggin' mullet, man, and mustache. Pervert Percy. It's perfect. It's perfect pervert Percy. A call just came in from a bank branch in the center of the city. A man entered, wired with explosives. He threatened to blow himself up, along with everyone nearby, unless he was allowed to speak with the press and TV within the hour. The man claims that the bank took away his house after failure to repay a loan which he says he never took out. That has actually happened. I remember that story. Send the SWAT. Not that I don't support you and your actions and stuff like that, but we do have to... The SWAT is now very powerful, right? It's 50% more powerful, so I don't need to send everybody we've got out on this thing, do we? If I can't get Percy back in time, I'll send out God Bomber. Who would I send out? I got a feeling that they're going to be like a great actor and then they never come back or something like that. Oh, I want it to be Percy. Oh, but if I want to reserve somebody to send in the event that I can't get Percy back in time from whatever mafia-related thing I just sent him on. Kochi, you can't be the pervert. You can go out. Roy actually looks fairly perverted. But then, like, people are going to associate you with being a pervert? I really need to send Percy on this thing. Roy, get over there. Yancey and Asano. 4 plus an upgraded SWAT to the bomb threat. That's what I'm going with. Come on, Percy. Come on, Percy! Percival! You can do it. This is your big day to be a star, Percy. Step on the gas. Get back here, Percy. This is the day that's going to make you a Hollywood star if you just get your ass back. Put your foot on that pedal. He's almost here. He's almost here. He's almost here. He's almost here. Percy, Percy, Percy. Percy's home. Go be a star, son. Maybe it'll work out the way I want. Let's check in on the bomb threat. They didn't call for backup, because my SWAT is upgraded, and the 4 of them plus the SWAT handled it lovely. Beautiful. Everything's going well. Vikas Varga, a friend of Christopher Sand, will be attending the grand opening of a new office in the city center. Okay. Our people will be in position, but there will be a lot of witnesses. For our hitters to have any hope of escape, we'll need a couple policemen to smooth the way. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's a no. That's a no. I'm sorry. I don't have enough staff on board today, Vic. It's just no one's around to help. Sand needs help. Our family has several city officials on the payroll. One of them is ushering some valuable items through the public transport system. The goods are slated to ship out tomorrow, but it looks like there's some punks who want to dump the cargo overboard before it even clears the dock. Our man in the port says they bribed some guards. Too bad they weren't smart enough to bribe the police. I have lost track of what I am doing here with these 2 mafia people, like where I stand on how much I've done for each today. I'm going to help Sands today. Okay? I feel like I want to help him here. I just got a gut feeling, trust in my gut. I don't know. I'm going to send in Purdy. She's my liaison with the mafia here. And Babyface Smith has to stay out of it, but God Bomber could assist. Yeah, God Bomber, get in there and give them a hand. I just need to balance things out a bit, I think,
is the thing. By the way, before, like, it's the end of the day, I want to go to affairs. No, I want to go to investigations and see where I stand on all this stuff. We've got 6 frames on the theft. If we could close that up, we'd have a lot of people, like, free and available. We need help on the robbery, but we're nowhere near, like, closing that anyway. Let's try and focus on getting this theft, taken care of. Oh my god, there's so many people sitting here doing balls all! And why do you guys have X's in you? I don't get it. I do not get it. In any case, Hunter is on today. Get over there and help. You'll be switching to the other team tomorrow. That's for you. And then I'm gonna let this robbery hold out for a minute. Which is which, though? What are the details? This is the one where they killed a guy, right? Yeah, they killed one of my officers. So I'm gonna boost this one up. Detectives, Sandstrom, you go and help over there. God, that is a weak-ass team, but at least somebody's helping. Ledesma, I don't understand why you're not helping today. Do I have to reassign you every friggin' day? Because that's how it looks. Ledesma, you, that, and I don't understand why they've got X's through them. Are they dead? Did they get killed? Probably shouldn't put the intern on the they're killing our officers thing one, actually. You might not be wrong there. Let's put you over on the robbery. Because somebody was already killed. We don't want the young kids getting killed. Ledesma, go hang out with Moser. They're just training. They're just around for a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Hurry the F up, Percy. Go get him. Schmeling has the 80s hair, but Ledema looks like your average 2010 college girl. Yeah, she does. Oh, I didn't help the... We've got a destruction of property call in Mrs. Sofa, the furniture store. It's right next to the vegetable shop. The store manager reports that a long-haired old woman with a large knife broke in. Long-haired old man with a large knife broke in. He's ripping out the lining of our sofas, shouting, "Where's my money? Put this cook? It's my mind going where my mind. Put this cook in a straitjacket? He's obviously sick. Anyway, come quick. We're hiding in the back." Okay, quickly. Millsap. Boda. Dude with a knife. We've got guns. Baby Smith's 5th. Then Tsubaki. You know, we'll get you. We got him. No big deal. I can do 2 things at the police station now. What? Hire another officer? Why can I hire another officer? Oh no. Oh no. It worked! It worked! Derek Allen, Sophocles Theater of Drama, says, "Fuck you, Boyd. Take your fucking orders and shove them up your better half. I quit." Percy has gone on to be a man of the theater. Oh, I did it. I got rid of Percy, and I get to have the free slot for an officer. Yes! I am the Ronin Pawn. He is William Shakespeare, and I get paid for it. I get money. I get money for getting rid of Percy and getting an extra slot for an officer. Let's hire a real cop to replace Percival. Apparently a cop for Shift A, because Shift A is... Well, we're going to lose Percy over here, but we'll still be... Am I moving somebody to Shift... We'll still be light on Shift A by a bit. So, Brandy Bailey, Jonathan Fall, Scott Huang, or Jim Kendall. I mean, you're first in the list. You're pretty... I'll take it. Shift A, right? Hired for Shift A. I got rid of Percy, and I didn't even have to have him murdered. Bye, Percy, says Hologram1. Hashtag bye, Percy. Cook, pronounced cook. It means crazy person. Really? Kook. Kook. A kook. Ah. Really? English doesn't have a fancy, stupid spelling for that? A kook? Don't think I've ever tried to write the word kook in my entire life. He's a kook. Maybe I have, and I've just never thought about it. Jesus, there's not an I before E except in this circumstance, and only under these things, but it's 25% of the time, but it's... You've got 3 new frames. Thank God. Close one of these, or at least get me a little bit closer to closing one of these investigations. These look like good frames. We might have enough frames to close this one then. Alright, so this is the theft at the hospital of their prescription drugs, and we suspect the doctor did it. So, let's see.
we presume that... What's that? Ah! Doctor turns the power off. Then, Doctor goes and steals the bags from the janitor's thing. Then he goes and puts the keys, unlocks the pharmacy while no one's around, steals the drugs, walks away. That's what we suspect. Ready? Boom! Nailed him. Colin Marcus, hospital, head physician. Hunter, Texas Ranger, gets a little bit more XP just before he switches to Shift A, too. Good work, everyone. Now we gotta pick him up. Mole needs some support on that. We can look for him at 2 places. St. John's Hospital, which is where he spends most of his time, or we can look for him in the suburbs where he lives in a luxurious house with a swimming pool. I can send the SWAT once more out today. If he's at his house, we don't need SWAT, it's a doctor who stole some prescription drugs. Yeah, send out 2 very powerful officers, no SWAT backup, to his house. What time is it? 1 in the AM? Proceed. Yes, it's 1 in the AM. We'll find him at home. Well, we don't know. He's a doctor. He could work, you know, the other thing. We're going to try his house first. Because no one at his house will tip him to the fact that the police are after him. And on the destruction of property, there really was a bundle of cash hidden in one of the sofas. Oh God! Okay, so the guy was ripping sofas open, looking for cash. It turns out one of them had the sofas in it. Words in order, so that it's understandable. So, do we bring the cash that this guy was looking for to the police station, or do we ask the mafia to sell the money? Huh. Little oversight in the implementation of the, do we ask the mafia to sell the cash, or do we just bring it to the police? I mean, you could say ask the mafia to launder it so that it's not attached to the case anymore. I mean, that's technically selling it. It's, do we sell the money, or do we keep it? The money had a sofa in it, says Cavoodle. How do you sell money? Kook is spelled cook. Super easy, lovely language, says Hologram 1. I mean, it's straight money. So that's nice, but this guy, like, tore up the couches for it. I feel like it should be in evidence, and then some of the money goes back to paying for the sofas, and then the guy gets the money. I don't know how the money got there, but it was clearly his money to start with. He knew it was in there. He was just trying to get his money back. He's insane, sure, but I don't know the circumstances behind this. I'm up, I'm a 10% of the way to my goal here on money. I don't want to sell money. I don't think it would work out too well. Let's find out if we manage to find this guy at his house. And hopefully, if we don't... Oh, God. If we don't... Wrong place. Damn it. Alright, well, guys, leave it. Don't... Untouched. Don't let him know that we were there, because he could run, now that he knows we've been to one place. But at least we didn't go to the place where his co-workers might have called him and said, hey, the cops showed up for you. Sans won the day today. He's technically the leader right now. Okay. Okay. I mean, I wanted to do that for some reason. I didn't understand. Vargas needs to take the lead tomorrow, but I need to show them that I'm on both of their sides kind of thing. Vargas has been in the lead most of the time. Most of the time they've been even. But Vargas has been in the lead like 4 times already. Sans has now been in the lead once. I don't know how this works, and I'm afraid I'm going to F it up. And that's going to be the end of playing this marvelous game that I am just loving and is making great live streams for us. Live streams, for example, of the kind that we just finished. I am the Rodent Pawn! Thanks for coming out, everybody. That was very fun. We talked about assassination plots. We talked about Jesus. We sang some songs. We sold some drugs and made some money. We almost sold some money and made some drugs, but we decided not to. Oh no, bye, Plotty. Yes, it's that time. It's time for the end of the show. Thanks for coming out, everybody. We will be back here this Sunday at 4 p.m. with another game. This is The Police, probably next Friday. It's been going on Fridays, and I really like it for Fridays. I don't know. You can't trust me for a schedule, but This is The Police will return to this channel Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, maybe. As for this Sunday, we've got some stuff in Kerbal to do. I need to take some time, I guess, tomorrow to look at how the hell I'm going to figure out how to assemble a ring in space. But we've got all the pieces there. Technically, we don't. But you don't have to worry about that, because I'm going to have to hyper-edit. I'll tell you this now, and then I'll tell you it again on Sunday. I realize now that when I launched the second ship, I had not made the repair that I needed to make to the docking ports. Where they're not going to detach from the thing that we sent all the way up there because of the way that the game works that pisses me off. So yeah, in hopefully before the live stream starts, I will have just hyper-edited the thing up there to match in the repaired state. This is why I love Kerbal. This is why I play it so often these days on the channel. It's so good. It's not as good as This is The Police. It's not as fun. It's not as fun. So join me this Sunday for Kerbal Space Program. I am the Ronin Pawn. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Thank you for your subscriptions, for your cheers, for everything that you do, and for your attempted assassinations of the President of the United States of America. Pawn possibly being arrested.